Red iron bent on Seers, no match for armed peers. Hound's master, a guardian, 'twas said. Yet a prophecy denied proved ill and betided. Defeat, dream, darkness, and dread. Welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, folks. This is episode 3 of our Mythic Bastionland campaign, the Adamant Expanse. My name is John. I am the referee for the evening, and going around the horn, we have...
Hi, I'm David, and I am playing Sir Meridian, the Mirror Knight.
Hi, everybody. I'm Matt. I play Sir Brunor, the Black, who's the Iron Knight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ted, and tonight I'll be playing Sir Aurelius, the Dove Knight.
And normally we would be having Mike playing Sir Malachi, the Bloody Knight, and we will indeed, which is why he doesn't get a Dead to Us curtain over his frame tonight. He will be joining us in progress. Okay, probably at the most inopportune time if we know Mike. So, oh. All right. So, yeah, thanks everyone for joining in. Don't forget that you have a solemn duty. If you're enjoying this or any of our past stuff as well, you need to like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material. Subscribe and leave comments and hype and leave reviews on Apple Podcasts and comment on Spotify and the whole 9 yards. Spread the word. And if you have a few extra bucks, you might want to hook us up with a Patreon subscription, which will get you access to our exclusive paid tier subscription, access to our Return to Dolmenwood campaign, which is currently ongoing, plus a lot of other fun benefits and access to secret channels on our Discord server. It is the 21st of June. We've just announced just last week that we are very proud to debut our very first publication, written by the one and only Ted, which is an OSE adventure called The Tomb of Armin Squagulot. Limited print run editions will be available for sale at Between Two Cons, which we're going to in just a couple days. If you're watching this in the future, this means nothing to you. We were already retired on the proceeds from all the massive print runs that Armin Squagulot has generated for us. But yes, we're very much looking forward to that. All right, moving into Mythic Bastionland. So the big elephant in the room is that the last half of the last session was completely wiped because of a technical error on my part. I have dotted my I's and crossed on my T's, and these guys are on alert to make sure that they check with me every single time that we take a break so that nothing bad happens again.
We're recording right now, John.
Yes, thank you for asking. You made me check.
I just put it right back.
But I left it. I recorded a brief summation of what occurred, but it really doesn't. Oh, there's Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hi. I said I was logging in. Sorry, you might have missed it.
Yeah, we missed it. We're recording right now. You are on air.
Live.
Everybody, that's what Mike looks like when he doesn't know you're there.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
We just started. So, So my brief summation wasn't very thorough, and it elided over a lot of really, really cool stuff. So what I want to do for the audience and for David's sake as well, who didn't attend last session, so also didn't get to really get a full grasp of what happened, is give you more of a detailed version of what happened. These guys can chime in with any flourishing details that they may have or that I may forget. So. First half of the thing was the battle with the Iron Hounds, which were the servants of the Watcher Satizi, who apparently resides in the Citadel or is the master of the Citadel. And we did a pretty cool combat. I think we did pretty darn well parsing those rules. Had a lot of fun. You guys handled them neatly, mostly because they were fully intent on seeking the Seers. So they were not turning around to fight you guys until the very last, when they heard a whistle from the Watcher off in the distance and turned around to fight you. But the Iron Knight proved the Cleaving Blade a mighty, mighty tool in the service of the company by dispatching of 3 of them. But what was interesting was after the bodies were done, and I think that's when the episode cut out, they went to investigate those bodies, and they found that on their rusted iron teeth, each of them, even though they are all on different teeth, there was 4 incised, like pictograms, like etched into their teeth.
One was runes, I think. Yeah,
runes. Yeah, exactly. One was a helmet, one was a ring, one was a candle, and one was an urn. I believe it was Matt, Sir Bruno, actually, what was the word? Deduced that the ring may be attributed to the orbital seer, and therefore the other three may be the other seers that they were actually sent to hunt, and that this might be some sort of talisman that allowed them to home in on wherever they may be. That we'll just cut to the chase, and at the very end of the episode, they did indeed discover that to be true, that the helmet is applied to the armored seer who resides in the town of 10 Towns. And the ring was the orbital seer, the area of the wheeling heavens. That's the one seer you've met. The candle was the silvered seer, which resides in the spire of glacial tears sanctum. And the urn was associated with the spectral seer, which resides at the iris of the, can't remember the exact name, iris of the world. So those, so they were somehow stamped with those and were able to home in on the seers that way, but they're all dead. So you kept on going towards the hex that actually had the myth in it, the citadel itself, and it was a huge towering spire with a corpse light up at the top and a big narrow stairway. And up on top of that stairway was an insane figure, Setizi, the Watcher, who was clad in silver mail, draped with a hooded gray shroud, and her brow was adorned with a silver crown with outwardly jutting spikes, like radial spikes, sort of like the Statue of Liberty. She held in her hand a crystal lantern that shone forth the same light that shone forth from the top of the tower, and she also held a glass sword in front of her face, and mist emanated from her mouth as she spoke. And she said, she told you to turn back, knights. The citadel is barred to such as you. And she said this, she said, I protect a destined future, charged to ensure that no obstacle impedes its fulfillment, that the one that bears the mantle of Meteor Knight shall leave the realm, and in doing so, a great change will occur. The seers of the Adamant Expanse impede me in this effort, falsely prophesying otherwise. Thus, they must be stopped for the sake of the realm. To aid me in this cause, thou hast but to step aside. To do aught else is to plunge the realm into gravest danger and to make an enemy of the citadel and of Setizi, the Watcher. So that was sort of the conundrum that was presented to you. The choice was yours. The Dove Knight, Sir Aurelius, asked if they could perhaps encamp before the citadel and so that they could make a decision. She granted that hospitality. And you guys had a pretty cool debate about what oath to hold to, because on the one hand, you had honor the seers, obviously, which would be to go against Setizi the Watcher and help protect them and make sure that they didn't come to any harm. But on the other hand, Setizi said that she's protecting a destined future. That if the Meteor Knight doesn't leave the realm, that the realm may be in great danger, and that the seers were prophesying another turn. So, we lost David. Well, we'll keep going. So you had that would be protecting the realm. So you ended up deciding to honor the seers instead. And in the morning, you decided to challenge her.
There was one thing you missed there, John. Like a key aspect in our decision making was what she had done to those dogs. Like when we examined them, it was very obvious that they had suffered. Like this was a cruel fate that she had brought on them, and that, at least when we were talking about it, that was the one thing that we just couldn't ignore. Those things couldn't have been done by a good person.
Yeah, that was what tipped the Dove Knight, because I was definitely in favor of this idea of protecting the realm until they pointed out the thing about the dogs, and the Dove Knight couldn't abide that either. So,
right,
I yielded to the decision for battle.
Very true. Yeah. During the night, while they were debating this, there was a fiery orange yellow aurora that backlit the citadel, which kind of gave the whole proceedings a weird vibe. So when you decide, hold on one moment. I'm going to dip out for 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Just had to check on a thing real quick. All right, so picking up where I left off, you decided to confront Setizi in the morning, and she came down to meet your challenge, and she told you folly burdens you. You claim to be true, holding to your oaths, but they are but words that will be shorn from you, as if cut by Pulchrin, the empty blade of your queen. Come join me, then, in the embrace of battle, for I have much work yet to do. And then you tried to fight her, and that went horribly bad.
Didn't go well at all.
So
that sounds pretty classic.
The premonition.
I got to do one thing before I died.
The premonition on Sir Brunor's scabbard actually proved to be true. At one point, he actually saw like a comet falling from the sky or a meteor falling from the sky. And indeed, Sadizi apparently called down flaming meteors from over the citadel to wipe out the Bloody Knight and the Dove Knight, throwing them to the ground and putting the Iron Knight at her mercy at the tip of her blade. And it was at that point that the corpse light on top of the tower actually shone so brightly that it encompassed the entire realm for a brief moment and sent all of you into an unconscious delirium. And you knew no more. But you did experience a shared vision. And upon waking from that vision, you do realize that you all shared it at once. And it was this, that you saw a short-haired, battered and bloody female knight wielding a blade that the actual physical blade itself was not physical. It was a rent in reality. And was facing a male knight who was wielding an ornate trident and wearing brass mail. That knight slipped under the woman's guard and with the trident ripped out both of her eyes. As she stepped back in pain and collapsed, the male knight pointed the trident at her again, obviously wanting her to yield. And instead, with blood coursing out from between her fingers as she was grasping her face, she did not yield. She lunged at him instead with renewed fury, despite her new blindness. And the vision ended just as they were about to clash one more time. And then you woke up and you found yourself at the Aerie of the Wheeling Heavens, which was the sanctum of the orbital seer. So you had given her, did her a big solid by telling her that they could go to the Meanderborn Gardens, that Doling Cavern that you had found while the Watcher was still after her. But apparently the Watcher and the Citadel are nowhere to be seen anymore. So apparently weeks have passed and you have been found near where the Citadel used to be by some woodsmen in the Orowode, which is the name of the forest in which you found yourself. They have tended you for many weeks, and then they made a long, arduous journey up into the mountains to deposit you at the sanctum. And so the orbital seer basically relays to you that you owe a lot to these woodsmen, for they saved you. And that's where we left it. So the area of the Wheeling Heavens is it's a weird place.
Tell me about it.
So it aligns with that weird riddle that your own seers had told you about where you could go, which direction you could go when you entered the realm. If you kind of pay attention to the wording of that, it kind of matches up with the northeastern trek, because it is from the outside, it actually appears to be an observatory. So it's located on a high wind-scoured ridge way up where the air is super thin and free. And it's built out of a dark, non-reflective basalt to avoid any light interference as it enters in. And you found yourselves beneath a rotating dome that's sheathed with copper that can be manually rotated with a series of like heavy wooden gears. And there's a narrow slit that opens up to the zenith of the dome itself. In the center of the main room is a perfectly still circular pool of thick black oil. And it appears that the orbital seer actually watches the reflections in the oil rather than looking up through the slit as the light comes in, and it basically collects in that oil and reflects. And she reads those readings of the stars in that well that she calls the star well. There are dozens of hand-ground glass lenses and prisms and crystal spheres and things like that are suspended from the ceiling by thin silver wires, and they collect and catch all the light that kind of filters through that slit and reflect it into specific patterns, which she also reads. And so the inside, it's very, very cold. There is some fires that have been set that kind of create like a heat haze, like a smoke heat haze that blurs the view a little bit. And there's the smell of sharp ozone, old parchment, and the metallic tang of the reflecting oil. And there's a sharp click clack constantly of the brass orrery that sort of kind of turns, according to the movements of the stars. Yeah, so that's kind of the deal.
Sort of like we're at Agra's place.
Yes,
yeah,
I was
sort of.
thinking the same thing.
Very, very similar, yeah. Although
Right
the contraption is nowhere near as large, right? There's much more of like an open space, and there's that well in the center, right? And all these things sort of dangling down.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's where you guys are. So couple so we did clarify there was a question about whether or not the enemies or NPCs also suffer scars from the scar table. Answer is yes.
Mhm.
We got that directly from Chris McDowall.
Yep.
And one thing I want to point out that we all forgot, I believe, is that every knight is automatically has some equipment, and one piece of that equipment is a dagger. That's pretty big. So all of you have a dagger, and that gives you a D6 for damage, right? So you can use that in combat with another weapon, provided you have a free offhand.
Yeah, it's not I have a two-handed weapon, so I can't.
Right. So if the weapon is long, which is like the equivalent of two-handed, or slow, which is also long, it won't work. And you can't use two hefty weapons in either hand. But if you have a hefty weapon, which probably a few of you do, you can, if you're not wielding a shield in the other arm, you could wield that dagger and then roll that damage. So it might be a choice of like, do you roll the D4 for the shield?
Right.
With less offensive power, but then you have the A1, or do you drop the shield and you use the dagger, which has a little bit more offensive power?
Sure.
All right.
So just remember you have a dagger.
very
My
good.
point.
I love it.
Okay.
I did wonder about that at one point, but whatever. So now I have a dagger. That's great.
Yeah. So
There
you
was-
should write that down.
There was one other detail that kind of at the end, right, when we were talking with the orbital seer and sharing what we had found and what we'd learned regarding that the runes on the jaw, because Brunor had kept one of those jaws from those iron dogs, right, to show her, and she was the one who kind of confirmed, yeah, those runes do kind of line up with the Seers. She gave us one extra little piece of information, which was that the Spectral Seer, whose rune was the urn, she gave us a location there. It was mentioned that that iris of the world is at the mouth of the Meander.
Correct.
So we know that if we want to, that Seer is going to be kind of like due south where the Meander meets that larger body of water.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that is very likely the other choice that you could have gone whenever you entered the realm was towards that, behind a veil. That sort of thing. So, and another huge lore thing, it was the orbital seer told you when you told them about that dream that you had, that reminded her of a historical event that happened, which gave you a lot of information about what's going on at the seat of power. So the woman apparently was in the past, the vision was of her in the past, but that woman now is actually the queen.
Right.
Queen Ingolmara, and she is the empty knight. And she is
I think
blind.
it was Matt that asked if the queen was blind,
Yeah.
and we confirmed that.
And she wields the empty blade Pulchrin, which is that blade that has a rent in reality for its blade. And the meteor knight, which is what was the Watcher prophesied must leave the realm, was her combatant in that vision. And the meteor
Trident.
with the trident, that's right, yeah. And the meteor knight is actually now in charge of guarding the day star, which is some sort of artifact or relic or something in the seat of power in Actopion, which is the city where the queen rules the realm.
Right.
So some interesting stuff going on there. And she referred to the queen as the sedentat temporis of the realm. Which is her
Just to
official
clarify, the meteor knight was in defiance of the Seers, though.
We don't know.
No, we don't
He's in
know.
defiance of the queen.
We know the Seers prophesied the meteor knight must leave.
No.
Did I understand the correct?
The other way around.
The Watcher.
The Watcher said that the meteor knight must leave the realm.
I see.
And the
I see.
Seers want him to stay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Although
I was
he's also the
confused.
guy that put out her eyes, the queen's eyes. So You know,
I think they were past that. You know,
maybe they're past it, yeah. But I can see where like that's a lot of karmic debt there. You know, with the queen.
maybe that's why he's paying it back by guarding the Daystar.
We'll find out.
Know what the Daystar
what he's
is?
doing to make her feel better.
Do we know what the Daystar is?
No, but I think we have to go find out.
So the just so we know that too, the Mike, you are the Knight Marshal, our version of the caller for the episode, just so you're aware. So you've convalesced here for many weeks, so weeks have advanced. So instead of the normal thing where we would ask, like, if you want a time advance at the end of the session, there was sort of one sort of built in. And owing your lives mostly to the ministrations of this small community of woodsmen, you have all gained 1 glory. All right, we talked about this at the end of the episode too, which was missed. Was discussing whether or not we considered that, and these are the words from the book, when the group feels that a myth has been resolved, reaching a conclusion of any type, all knights who played a part in that myth gain 1 glory. So we determined that even though you lost that battle, the Citadel is no longer there. The Seers don't feel that they are being hunted anymore for some reason. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you win a myth or defeat a myth or anything like that. Did you feel that the myth has been brought to a conclusion of any type? You gain 1 glory. So all of you guys
resolutions include ass whoopings.
Yes,
yeah.
that's very
I think
true.
in this case, what really is happening is the woodsmen are telling all their friends about how the Citadel came along and threw comets at these guys and totally kicked their butts. And we
didn't see that part, which is cool.
We don't know if they didn't see it.
The Orbital Seer did say that word has spread about these brave knights who stepped forth to attempt to thwart the machinations of the Citadel.
Right.
So that
That's
your
good.
names are becoming known, or at least the word is starting to spread, even though it's all happening in a remote part of the realm. So the Citadel is no longer visible on the horizon. You should be aware that your target here for mechanically is 3 glory. That gets you up to the next rank, which would be Knights Gallant. And we had a question at the end of the episode about your Vig loss and whether or not it recovered or not. I want to ask you guys, I know obviously that Meridian's feeling just fine, but the other 3, did you lose Vig?
Yes.
Yeah, I was down to 4, which is a mortal wound.
Okay.
And
I was also mortally wounded.
Yeah.
I was down to 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sir Bruno?
I was down to 3, but that's just my vigor. I had also used one of I forget the name of the feature, but I rolled and I spent some of my spirit to be able to do a gambit against the Watcher in that fight that we had. So I'm also down 4 spirit.
Okay, so you guys are pretty rough. So the answer to whether or not the time that has passed has recovered your vigor, the answer is no.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Sheesh.
So we're looking at page 9, Harm and Scars is where I'm pulling this from. So under recovery, virtues can be restored by 3 means: consuming a specific type of remedy, performing a specific action, and here's the key one: skipping to a new season.
Womp womp.
So that's the one I'm sort of thinking of, is the natural healing, like the time just passes by and you restore your shit. So if that's the marker actually changing over from spring to harvest, then we are still in spring. Therefore, you have not gained your vigor back. So you can do the remedies here, right? You can consume a sustenance, for instance, for your vigor, or by spending a full day in warm hospitality. Actually, maybe that counts.
Yeah, I mean, we've been convalescing for like weeks.
I mean, I guess
actually, now that I read that should be fine. Yeah. So let's do that.
If the Orbital Seer was nice to us while we were there,
they were.
Like
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Cool.
You've actually spent most of it in the care of the woodsman. That's where you're actually getting that warm hospitality.
Oh, okay.
But you should be aware that, so that go by the book. Those are your main ways of recovering your virtue. But however, there are also places and people that are dotted around the realm that may be able to cure virtue loss.
Okay.
For instance, the Meander Gardens, the monument, right? You could actually go there and to restore your spirit. So,
right.
Yeah.
Which I think I would vote for, as I'm down 4 of those spirits.
Well, we certainly could pass through there on our way out of these mountains and
That's what I was
to the river.
John, does spirit not come back by being in like warm, like embrace of like someone's kindness kind of things that not come back?
No, you could see the rules right here.
Yeah, spirit is restored by consuming sacrament or indulging a passion.
Yeah, so that's a built-in thing. So spirit's actually a cool one because you can look at your passion. So if Brunor is down passion, down spirit, his passion is diligence. So he restores his spirit when refusing a shortcut.
So we have to walk the long way, I guess, is what you're saying there.
Yeah. Well, somebody has to propose it, and I have to. No.
Right. You should be aware, though, your passions are often things that are sort of counterintuitive to what your whole idiom is as far as your night goes. You usually have to kind of go against what your whole vibe is. But if you do so, then you automatically recover all of your spirit, which is pretty cool. You don't need to go somewhere or find a thing. You can just get it back if you do that. Right.
The Dove Knight is, I feel like, a really good example because, you've got this strike of serenity and the dove and peace and everything, and the passion is revenge. So I propose we go kick the Watcher's ass and get revenge for that horrible embarrassment. But more to the point, I think we discussed briefly at the end of the last session going to Actopion.
We had.
But I think going by way of the Meander and going to visit the which night was it, Matt? The
Meanderborn Gardens is where where that hole is. We need to go.
The Seer at the base of the river, mouth of the river.
Oh, the Seer at the base. Yeah, is the urn.
The urn, right?
The what was there? The spirit. Yeah, the spirit.
The Spectral Seer.
Spectral Seer. Yes.
And so that that would be in that that hex. Kind of directly. Sure. So if we go to Meanderborn Gardens, we can go there and then
keep going.
Why did you want to go see the Spectral Seer?
Well, I think it would be nice to get some more answers. The Orbital Seer has told us some things. Presumably, the Spectral Seer would tell us something different. We might find the Watcher in that vicinity, something else hunting the Seer, and it's more or less on the way to Actopion. So why wouldn't we go see the Seer?
Okay. Well, brothers, we have a petition from the Dove Knight here to go down to Actopion and stop by the and see this other Seer. What say you all? Do you all want to do that?
This does include the Meanderborn Gardens for the benefit of the Iron Knight, of course.
Yeah, Meanderborn Gardens,
indeed.
The other Seer, and then Actopion.
Sounds great to me, brothers.
Aye, you can count me in.
Then, John, as soon as our steeds are recovered and we have reconstituted all of our stuff that we need or like whatever, then let's set out. Why don't we, for the sake of just for fun, why don't we go to this hex that is down a little bit to the east, just because it's one we haven't been in before?
Okay.
We can go down there, and then we go down to the next one, and then we can go into the Meanderborn Gardens.
I mean, that's fine. It does add
that's okay.
A half a day of travel, but
it's
adventure, brother. Know you not the frontier's call?
Well, it's just that's a lot of walking, It's
you are on the order.
I feel very vigorous myself. I have so much energy for walking,
and we could
be expected to protect the realm. Then we have to know the realm.
Well, that's a good point. But we could spend the night at the Meanderborn Gardens.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty nice if we went straight. But it's up to you guys.
I think the Dove Knight has made his claim, and I think the rest of us have rejected his wisdom.
You may peck my ass, Dove Knight.
Yeah. Well, I think it's as straight as the bird flies. You see, it's the Dove Knight's philosophy there. Fine. We'll go the long, plodding, tedious route with extra danger.
It's almost like I'm rejecting a shortcut.
Oh,
boom. That's how it's done. That's how you get your spirit back.
Dang. Well, we don't need to go to the Meanderborn Gardens then.
This guy games.
Wait, are you a Mahjong player too? I mean, this is masterful.
Give me time.
All right. Hold on a second. I got a whole bunch of crap up here. Trying to.
At some point, John's studio there is going to be all screens, each with a different document.
Yeah.
A team of engineers with ropes and pulleys trying to get his attention to different monitors at different moments.
He's going to be absorbed by the Matrix.
That's right.
Okay, so you are you're heading to the southeast further into the mountains.
Yeah, you see where my cursor is. We'll go down there.
It seems to be that way.
Okay, do you do anything for the woodsman or the orbital seer, or
The woodsman's still there?
Thanks, assholes, we're out.
No. We should definitely do something for them. I guess here's my thing, and this is OSR Mike conflicting with Mythic Bastionland Mike, right? We don't have loot. We can't be like, here's a bag of gold coins. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so is it like services? Like, do we just go talk to them guys and be like, thank you for taking care of us. Is there anything we can do for you?
You know what I would like to add to that? My brothers, why don't we make sure that we collect their names so that we can bring their names and the tales of their assistance in this grand quest to the Queen?
I think that's a bad idea. This is I'm just gonna throw this out because I'm feeling very knightly. I mean, they are commoners, you realize.
Wow, I didn't know the Dove Knight rolled that way. Wow. They're just serving their lords by giving us healing us and dragging us through the mountains back to safety. John, I would like to petition to my brothers that we go and pay a visit to the woodsmen and thank them for their service and see if there's anything that we can do to return the favor.
Like,
is the woodsman the opposite direction from where we want to go?
Well, some of them are actually encamped below the sanctum in the mountain because
that's fine then.
They've dropped you off recently, and you've woken up with the orbital seer. As I said, you spend most of your time with these woodsmen, right? So there is their leader. You exit out of the sanctum and you see them. They're a small little encampment. They look like they're hardy folk of the wood, but they know how to survive up here in the mountains as well. And they've been here a few days at the behest of the orbital seer to make sure that you're okay. And they're very happy to see that you are all right. Their leader is a strapping but rather elderly woodsman. He has a sort of a cynical eye to him, but his name is Knott, Knotte.
Of course.
Of course, he's got a big axe, and he comes up to you and it looks like you're fared better than we found you. Glad to see you're doing all right, sirs.
Many thanks to you and your woodsmen brethren.
your kindness and your service will be long remembered.
Please don't forget us in the Orowode. We are often neglected, a neglected corner of the realm.
What if there's some service that we can do for you to repay your kindness? What would you have of us?
We've sent letters, many letters to Actopion over the years, requesting help and food and supplies from the realm, but we've received no answer from Actopion. We try not to think ill of the queen, that she has some sort of grudge against us, for we know not what it could possibly be. But perhaps you could ask of her, should you present yourself to her at Sceptremass, how she holds us in her esteem. And perhaps perhaps she could send a messenger or word, or even better, help would be wonderful. The winters are frightfully cold in the Orowode.
Would you like to write another letter and we will deliver it to her ourselves?
If that would be wondrous, yes. Thank you, sirs.
John, I have a question. Are these woodsmen in the sense of they live in the woods and this is where they make their living, or are they woodsmen in the sense that they are keepers of the queen's lands?
That's a good question. They're the former mostly. They consider themselves to be loyal subjects of the crown, right? But they just they're feeling a little slighted because they just haven't received the attention of the crown in any positive way in a long time. they not also makes the point too that ever since the Citadel was appeared in their lands out of nowhere, apparently, all peoples have shunned the Aura Woad for many a long season. So the times have even gotten more fraught for them.
John, would you say that they're lumberjacks, and that they're okay?
Yeah, they're okay.
They're okay.
Well, they're not okay.
Oh, do they sleep all night and work all day?
They do that.
Matt, Mike asked a good question. I was going to ask though: is woodsman to be conflated with a lumberer, like someone who's cutting down trees and providing?
Yeah, they do
planks
they do that, yes, but they are also like, people of the woods, right? Like they're like rangers and foresters, and
they're not in the employ of the queen for the production of lumber, in other words.
Not really, no.
Nor are they Pinocchio people, actually.
Nor are they Pinocchio. Very important. Very important.
Even more important, before we bring your attention to the queen, have you paid taxes lately? And do you really want to be reminded of her?
Now you're going to make them hate us.
Because if we bring it up, they might tax you.
We send our fair share.
Aha. Okay.
Sure. Although we have not seen it. We have not seen the collector for a long while.
Okay.
But neither have we been called up for the levy. So we worry that there may be something. Perhaps it's not us. Perhaps it's something that's going on at the seat of power. That is distracting the queen.
It does seem unusual that you would neither be taxed nor levied nor aided or communicated with in any way.
Well, we have heard word that the entire realm is kind of in need of in great need. Actually, it seems like the things that you're describing are, from what we hear, are everywhere.
Yeah, I think they probably are.
Indeed, the realm is fraught with many dangers. Many things thought to be tales of legend told to children to scare them to scare them into obedience have been proven to be true, or at least the legends have come back. The people speak of them more and more. But we have more immediate worries here. And as he says that, you hear like a low rumble of thunder in the sky. And you see off in the distance that there is a front that's moving in slowly from the northeast. And he looks up and he's like, a bad omen. It might be. You should march now if you want to get ahead of that storm.
Let's go. Before we go, does the seer have a message for the spectral seer? A note or missive for us to deliver?
She wishes to confirm with her fellow seers that they are in good health and that they themselves have not seen any further evidence of the Watcher. She expresses deep concern that even though the Citadel is gone, that because she doesn't place any blame on you or anything like that, but because you were witnesses to that climax there, that it may portend that we haven't seen the last of the Watcher and the Citadel.
I'm sure we haven't.
I'm
sure it just moved.
You know what she says is, she says, you may want to convey to the seers that you meet, not only the Spectral Seer, but any in the realm, that they may be a little bit more circumspect about who they tell their prophecies to. For if the Watcher somehow figures out that they are, and there's no way, the Orbital Seer is like a little bit worried because she has no way of knowing if something that she says or prophesizes is something that goes against the destined future that the Watcher is predicting. So
that makes sense.
She says, like, perhaps you should warn them to be a little bit more canny.
Right. Except when talking to us, they could tell us anything. It's totally
right.
Okay. Well, thank you to your woodsman. Thank you to the seer, all for your hospitality and your faith in our quest.
I think.
Come, my friends, we ride.
We ride.
Very good. I should point out too, I'm not trying to keep stopping you guys and all that kind of stuff, but you should just be aware of what your options are.
Ride.
Yeah. One more thing. You don't have to. In fact, maybe you don't. Maybe just don't. But I just want to put it out there that there is a rather large, sizable group of commoners here as well, and they all look up highly to knights, and that squires are a thing. So if you there are plenty of willing young lads who are too shy to approach you to offer their services, but this is a good crop. Should you wish to take one or two with you to take squires, but I don't want to force it. I really did not plan for you to do it that way. I'm like, but you should just be aware that squires are a thing, and they're more than just retainers, right? So
yeah, they actually have some mechanical benefits and stats.
I do love that idea. Maybe we should have like games, and they should battle, and we will take like the top 5. Or
Survivors?
The top 3 or whatever. But do we want to do that this session, or do we want to put that in our pouch for future? What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, you could leave them as sort of like a possibility for you. Like you could go back if you wanted to. They would be always willing.
What are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling like I'd like to get some action happening rather than worrying about squires right now. I also think that I don't know. I'm feeling like whatever myths and prophecies I'm seeking, it's not the right time for the Dove Knight to take a squire. I'm just feeling it. So
totally
if you guys want to, totally cool.
Does anyone feel different?
No, I think we can move on.
Yeah, let's. I like the idea, but again, I don't think we need to spend the time doing it now. Let's go.
All right.
Okay. Cool. All right. To the southeast, you head out. The Orbital Seer and not the Woodsman all wish you well on your journeys. So yeah, the thunder is rolling in, and you're moving through the mountains themselves. So you're not actually descending. You're kind of winding your way through these natural paths, which I will say that the Orbital Seer actually points out, like the ones that she uses when she moves about the realm, even though they're not man-made. So you have to move very slowly. So I'm going to basically not say that gallop is not an option. You can only trek. You can move 1 hex on foot or steed. We'll assume that Aurelius with his mountain-worthy steed takes the lead once again. Yeah.
Sounds smart.
I would be happy to do that.
Okay. So we'll start in the morning phase. So 1 phase goes by and you move through that hex. I'm going to roll the thing here. Okay, so let's see. I'm just making a note here. So by around noontime, as you're winding your way through the mountains, the storm comes in a lot faster than you thought it would. All right, but this time it is actually a springtime storm. You're actually at a little bit lower of height. You're below the tree line here, so it's not snow, but it is a rather cold, frigid, unseasonally cold rain that kind of comes pattering down, makes the scree that you're walking on a little bit slippery. Do you attempt to push onward?
We push onward, but maybe we lead our mounts, except for Sir Aurelius, so that we're not endangering them.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Leading them on foot. Yeah.
Big Spruce is sure-footed on rocky ground, so I will stay mounted, and thus the height to give me an advantage on spotting danger.
Sure.
Okay. So as you continue into the afternoon, still in this hex here, the rain actually combines with mists, or maybe perhaps it generates mists that kind of come out of the rocks and the dark places of the earth, in the crevasses and the caves, and they kind of emanate out with like a sibilant hiss that you attribute to the worm. And it also starts to obscure your vision as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're still in this hilly, rocky area, so now you have a combination of strong, steady, cold rain and mist that is not dissipating in the wetness. It's only kind of causing it to coalesce even more, and you find yourself stymied and not able to find any sort of suitable path.
Okay, so maybe now we look for a shelter.
Yes. Shelter, or just wait. A good view. Can we find a vantage point and perhaps see down into the the lower lands a good route or anything. But yeah.
So the mists are really thick right now. So you, what I would say is, if you want to continue to look for any sort of suitable vantage point or a suitable shelter at all, instead of kind of camping where you are, you would be considered to be traveling blind. Which I have to roll on another chart, and that chart is, can be Aerie. It can be good too.
Is there? I mean, again, not to be too OSR, but we have a very low range of visibility. Like you said, we're basically traveling blind, probably 10 feet ahead of us, and then it's nothing or something along those lines. But we are currently on a path, and there's a grade, or are we just in an open field sort of descending? Does that make sense? Are we on
you're on
trail?
Mountain paths. So there's cliff sides and you're having to mound ridges and huge gaps that fall away before you.
You also said there was no apparent path, right? Like we've lost the trail.
That's right. Yeah, only because of the mists and the rain is also like making the paths very indistinguishable because everything's like running off now.
Sure. I mean, all I was going to suggest is like, even if it's just a slight, like overhang from the cliff itself that we could just hug against, just to have a little bit of coverage. Is that something that's easier to discern than trying to find a big open campsite? Does that make sense, John?
Yeah.
Like, if you have a large boulder, you're going to have a little bit of rain protection just by kind of hunching underneath it, kind of situation.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're pitching just like hunkering down as best.
I just want to hunker down, but like, exactly.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about. Is you can either hunker down right now, or if you could try to push forward. I'm rolling on the traveling blind table.
I say hunker down.
I say, well, let me. I think we should push forward, and here's why. 1, we are knights, not hunkerers. 2, there's some urgency to this. The Seers are in danger. And 3, I feel like the myths have control here. This is a mist that has rolled up and enveloped the land, and we must be prepared to accept what mystery lies in front of us rather than hunkering.
My dear man, if it is the Seers, if it is the nature of our fate that this mist does crawl across us, may it not also be a message that we should temper our eagerness, that no Seer can be saved by a dead knight, that now is the time to hunker down and appreciate where we are? Certainly that could be discerned from the mists of fate just as well. No,
a compelling point, but my heart says push forward.
You just want to roll on a new table.
Says push forward, my friend, and I respect it. Trust me.
I do think if your heart pushes forward a little too far, it will push forward and off the edge of a cliff.
I'm in front. I'll go first. It's fine.
The knights have made their case, Sir Malachi. What say you, Marshall?
I say, unfortunately, the Dove Knight's bravery outstrips our own desire for bad weather, and we will find shelter until this mist passes.
Hunkering like commoners.
we can stand up on your horse.
Well, the seer of this campaign was on the Dove Knight side.
Oh.
But that's cool. All right. Hunkering it is. All right. Okay, so so you basically, not basically, you actually are, you cannot see ahead of you. It's impossible to, you can see within 10 feet of you, so I'm not saying you just physically can't move, but there's no actual real meaningful progress at all. And you're going to attempt to do your best to find some shelter, which means I'm gonna do a little something. Okay.
Like a clarity check or something? Or have you got a chart for timid, cautious knights versus the other chart for brave, noble knights?
With broken legs.
If history teaches us anything, kid, you're going to die.
As I tumble down the cliff. I tumble down the cliff, I'm brave.
It's interesting because there's a bit of if we're not doing OSR solutions, then existential hazards have a certain probability reliance on dying or surviving, right? So like arresting our fate becomes difficult. I don't know. It's hard to make a decision.
I think for me, man, I'm picturing like 4 guys out in the wilderness, covered in metal with horses. You get bad weather. you're probably going to stop. It's like the realistic thing to do. You're not just like, I'm so brave that bad weather doesn't affect me. That's not a thing.
There are many instances in the Grail quest where the knights hunkered down. I'm just saying.
That's kind of where I'm coming from, really. Like, in the Green Knight, the mist comes in.
I'm saying there are many instances in which they hunker down.
But
the hedge knight resting upon a tree with inclement weather is a common thing.
Okay, so who is going to take point in trying to find somewhere where the rain is not beating down incessantly upon you?
I think we make the guy on the horse do it.
I'll do it because I have the elevation and vision and wings.
Why don't you make me a clarity save, please?
All right, so D20, and I'm trying to roll my clarity or under.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so you guys have chosen very wisely because my clarity is a 4.
Mine's a 3.
But my God, I rolled a 4.
Oh, hey, nice. All right.
He's destined to that.
Okay. So, okay. So you are able to find, we'll say, a rocky overhang that Sir Meridian was sort of describing. It's still relatively miserable. It's certainly not going to keep you dry, but within walking distance, you're able to find something and bed down for the night. Let me just check here. Okay.
I don't suppose there's any dry wood about.
No, definitely nothing dry.
We should have got a squire. We could have lit them on fire and made warm.
Yeah, but they tend to run around when you do that. It's annoying.
Okay, so you bed down for the night, and it's miserable, but you wake up without any incident overnight. As you do, the mists are still present. The rain has stopped, but the mists are slightly lessened, enough that you can actually kind of pick out a path, but it still doesn't allow you to get any sort of vantage upon the surrounding land. There is you can hear the thunder as you wake up, sort of dissipating from behind you, or actually I should say in front of you, as the front sort of passes.
Oh, it's past us, right?
Yeah, it's past you. Yeah, and the morning sun brings like pink billows of cloud on the horizon in the wake of the dark front that you can see sort of moving southward, and it leaves behind like a very hot, humid sort of environment. It's kind of like that kind of light that rainbows, like a post-storm sort of environment where rainbows are present. We'll say a rainbow appears because that's cool. That's legendary. Yeah.
So in the morning, so John, I don't want to do this every morning because it'll get old. But now that we're in a new hex and on our way, I want to check my scabbard again to see if there are any myths close by, or so what the closest myth would be.
Remember that it's not like a myth detector. It just gives you some sort of hint of the nearest myth.
Right.
So you should be aware of that. Right.
Yeah. So, and
it's I guess not a homing device. It just sort of,
what I'm doing is I'll look today, and then if I'll tell you that he's going to look every morning. And if there's anything like significantly different that shows up.
Right. So this morning, is still the hounds coursing in a straight line.
Okay.
On the scabbard. But as I said before, they are, actually that was part of the episode that got cut, I believe, right? When we talked about that. Yeah. So we should be clear to the audience and to David that these are very clear, even though they are abstract on the scabbard, they are clearly not the iron, iron/organic hounds that you fought and defeated in the forest.
I see.
Okay. Yeah. These are obviously depicted as real hounds. Okay. So what hex are you moving into in the morning?
We're going to move to the one that is to the southwest of us. These gentle hills right here.
Into the hills. Okay. What's up, David?
No. I was going to ask, it's the same amount of hexes to get to the mouth of the river going to that one or the other. Is there any value in us seeing the edge of Lake Arnisal on our way down?
Except we want to go to the meandering. We want to go to the Meanderhorn Gardens.
We are going to Meanderborn. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure.
Let me actually ask, because I kind of asked jokingly. We did pick to restore the spirit at Meanderborn Gardens. We took the long way around to get there.
You did restore your spirit. Yes.
Okay, so now we don't have to go there.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
I don't
In
think
which
anybody
case-
else is down spirit.
But
Well,
in which
then
case,
don't go
either
there
are fine
and
by
you-
me. But if we're curious about the lake at all, going to the southeasterly hex.
Yeah, we
would
can
be
actually
good
do that. That's a great idea. If
in
we
view
go to
of
this
that.
hex and then go to this one right here and
Yeah.
then cut over, then it's the same number of hexes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
it's
do
up
that.
to
You guys.
If we didn't take the shortcut to the Meanderborn Gardens and took the long way, but didn't go to the Meanderborn Gardens, we have not gone the long way. Is his spirit restored?
It's magic, Ted. It's myth. Don't worry about it.
Magic myth. You like hunkering under cliffhanger. Okay, that's
Oh
fine.
my God. The Dove Night is also known as the Bitch Night. It's like being trapped in the car-
Brave. Yeah.
It's like being trapped in the car with my mom just the whole time. Well, why didn't you take that road?
Okay, so you're descending out of the mountains and going into the grasslands.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes,
Sure.
southeast. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you do that. So it quickly, the paths are very, very steep as they descend straight out of the mountains, right? So they're very, very sheer. So you reach a point like where you're kind of coming around a ridge along a mountain, and the mists dissipate, and you can see like before you, like you're looking out over top, like a huge drop off that goes steeply down, and it shows these a beautiful sweeping grassland before you, and in the far distance, glimmering on the horizon under these pink clouds in the morning, you can see the glistening waters of the legendary Lake Arnile, rife with fish.
Ooh.
Beyond, and you think perhaps it's just the sunlight glinting off the waters, but perhaps those white flashes are sails on boats, on fishing boats here and there, or perhaps they're just birds of some sort. But most likely it's just the sun. But who knows? Because it's in the hazy
Could be
distance
the
beyond.
fins of some great beast across the edge of that mirrored lake.
Your minds fill as you look at the great expanse before you that disappears in the horizon, and you know that somewhere across that great lake is the legendary city of Actopion.
Brothers, when we make it to the shore, perhaps if these white flashes are boats, maybe we can take a boat to save some time.
Well, didn't we want to go see the Spectral Seer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you are in that hex now. You have the choice now. If you would like to gallop, you could.
Of course. If we would like to
Grasslands and
gallop.
horses? Come on, man.
Okay, so you're gonna let the reins free on your horses a little bit and let them stretch their legs. It's been a long time. They've been up in the mountains and in the thick forest for some time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do give them free rein, they take full advantage. And you can kind of imagine the spectacle, right? Like all four of you just let them go, right? And you just go flying through the grasslands as you come down out of the mountains, as the sun sort of crests the horizon as you move through the hex, and you're circling around, keeping sort of the lake to your left, right, as you sort of circle southwards along the perimeter of it. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're moving 2 hexes in that direction. Okay, so by the time the sun is high in the sky, and you are in that second grassland hex, you see off in the distance as you are churning up the loamy earth. Let me find it here. That there is it's right near the waters of Lake Arnile, right? Is a settlement of some sort. Multiple dwellings of varying sizes and shapes and function. And you see that there is a hive of activity that appears to be a small dock, like actually multiple docks that are sort of adjoining this sort of complex, this compound somewhat. And there is a lot of activity going on at the docks, loading and unloading. And many workers have these wide-brimmed hats in all directions, sort of protect against the sun. Many of them, though, however, you see are actually the brims themselves actually are draped with some sort of white cloth that covers their entire faces and wraps around their bodies as well. Some of them.
I must have one.
And dotted around in clusters further away from the water, out in the rich fields, sort of away from the buildings, are these clusters of small wooden platforms that have these weird cone-like shapes atop them. And
beekeepers.
Many of the workers are in the fields, and they sort of, and many more appear actually. It appears like they were hunched over in the grasses. They sort of pick themselves up, and they espy you on the distance, right? Like you can see a lot of them are sort of stopping and turning and looking at you coming in at full force, riding towards them. You're still quite a whiles away. I assume you approach, or how are you approaching, I should say?
I mean, I think when we get within bow shot, we just slow down to a canter, and whoever's in the lead raises their hands so they know they're not being attacked, and then we just go into the village and find out what's going on.
I like this. Show non-aggression.
One question before we enter the village, John. Mm-hmm. These hats that drape down occlude the faces of all of the villagers?
More or less, yeah.
If
like
we were
white, like some sort of like terry cloth of some sort.
Sure. In riding by them, gentlemen, do they seem to shy away from being seen?
No.
Okay, so we would be able to discern if they all have the plague or something like that.
No. It's a good question, but no. It appears to be part of like their uniform for whatever they're doing, and not all of them are wearing that, by the way.
Cool.
Right?
Okay,
a small smattering of them. Most of them actually located near those cones on platforms, away from the water. Okay, so you're going to approach with the hail sign up, not threateningly, lowering the speed of your horses and kind of cantering in. Got it. All right, perfect time to take our first break, and we'll pick it up when we enter this weird place. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full, and yes, I'm double checking to make sure we're back and that our bladders are empty and our beers are full.
Thank you, John, for checking.
That appears to be the case. All right.
Okay.
Okay, meters are going. All right, so you're approaching this kind of lovely looking, busy, bustling, small little compound, and I should someone had mentioned that it might be a village. It's not. To be very clear, it's not a village. It appears to be a unified sort of operation going on.
Okay.
Does it look like it's walled, like it's defended?
No, it does not look like it's defended. Actually.
Okay. And you said
compound is a loaded word.
Compound, I was like, oh, we are in the Pacific Northwest. All right.
Idaho.
I wondered. Sorry, because I'm deaf. You said cone, not comb, right?
Cones. Yeah.
Okay, because I heard comb and thought, oh, beekeepers, cone facilities and hats. They're
wearing wide, flat-brimmed hats that are draped. And most of them are just clear, and you can see their faces. But some of them near these cones are draped down, and the cones are sort of mounded. So you're actually, as you get closer, you actually see that your confirmation is your guess was actually true. They are cones and combs, as in they are created hives for bees to create pollen. To create honey.
Well, what do you know?
Not create pollen. They'll create pollen.
But that explains the drapery around their face too. Yeah. Right? It's very much of that type. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yes. So these are cool. As you approach that, many of them that are in the apiary itself are going like this, and they're pointing towards the larger buildings in the compound. As you see that the bees are getting what's the word? They're agitated, yeah, because of the horses and your approach.
Do we see any smoke being used to suppress them around us?
Maybe. I don't really know how apiaries work that well, but probably anything that's associated with like an older apiary would be the case. Yeah.
So, John, these cones are the woven basketry skeps that they used to use in the medieval days instead of the boxes they use now.
Yeah, skeps is the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready to become the Wicker Man, Ted?
I just like bees. They're lovely.
These are cool. It would seem like we could easily, follow their advice. They're pointing and take a wide berth around these, the apiary, so that we're not disturbing the hives. Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's great. don't need to disturb hives. But
Okay.
so there's main buildings like a farmhouse or a barn or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of large, rather for medieval times, like industrial-looking buildings with like very few windows, large openings, things like that. There is smoke and other gases sort of being emitted from certain chimneys and things like that, and other smaller dwellings that are probably for living quarters and like a mess hall, that sort of stuff. And a lot of shipyard activity along the dock. So coiled ropes and rope makers and rigging and sail making, things of that nature, all on a rather small scale, but very, very industrious. There's a lot of work going on. So as you pull into the center of the area, you are approached by a short woman, and she's a rather striking looking individual. She is wearing an apiarist outfit. All right, so she's covered from head to toe in like a large overall sort of thing. But it's all very decorated and formal and been modified to be more of like a fashion statement rather than utilitarian. So she has numerous badges and ribbons of who knows what for, like what she got these medals for, but they're all decorated down like a decorated Soviet general, just like all the way down like her left breast. And she has a massive sash across from her right shoulder to her left hip that is also highly ceremonial with with ribbons and tassels and things like that along the sash.
So she's a Girl Scout.
And
she's the queen
drapery, that drapery would normally protect the face is very akin to actually Meridian chaperon, in that it's instead of like draping utilitarian wise, it's been modified to be like a bright royal purple and wrapped like a turban around her head, so it's mounted high, almost Marge Simpson like all the way up.
I think your instincts are correct, Mike.
Queen bee.
So she comes forward. And she looks at you very pointedly with her hands on her hip. She's very short, but she's towering with that headdress. And she says, "Welcome, friends, to the Sundown Hiveworks and meadery. I am the chief apiarist, Prentice. You look like you are knights. Is that the case?"
Indeed we are. Honey mead, perhaps? Meadery, did I hear? My name is Sir Meridian.
That is, of course, the realm of my counterpart, Samzoon, the chief brewer, he's busy at the moment, but she points over toward what is obviously like a meadery building.
These are my compatriots.
Good day, milady.
We offer you our hospitality, dear sirs. Are you here at the behest of the queen?
We journeyed to see the queen ourselves. We have not been received at court yet. We are on our way.
Ah, yes, Sceptremass. Thus, as you can see, the increased activity here at the Hiveworks, as we are very, very busy getting all needed materials to Actopion across the lake.
Your industriousness does you credit.
Why, thank you. Would you care for a sample? Honey cake, perhaps?
Ooh, I am partial to honey cakes, it must be said.
Would never say no to a honey cake.
Hey, John, would you say she's caked up?
Yeah. Is that a Gen Z thing? I don't know.
It's a Gen Z thing.
God's damn Gen Z
Lingo
lingo.
words.
If it's a positive thing, then yes.
It's a positive. Of course, it's a positive thing, John. Come on. Sir Mix-a-Lot would agree. Come on. Wow.
She said, "I just ask, please, that you remain here within the general area of the buildings and the people, and to, especially with your horses, not to enter the apiary proper. There is very delicate work going on there, and we wouldn't want you hurt, but more specifically, we don't want the bees disturbed."
Oh, not at all. Certainly wouldn't dream of disturbing a bee. But may we call upon your hospitality this evening?
It is granted, of course, sirs.
Outstanding.
Knights on their way to Sceptremass, it is a rare honor. You come out of the mountains, is that correct?
We have of late been questing in the hills, yes.
You have the touch of snow upon your cheeks, In fact, I see that you have many burdens upon your shoulders, for you look as if you've gone, as if you've had quite a tiresome journey or encountered many hardships.
I would say we have encountered 4 hardships.
Very precise, sir.
3.75. Pretty.
And now the bitch knight will elucidate on what those 4 hardships were.
He also carries our abacus, milady. It's his duty. I would love to take part in not only the cakes but the honey mead, gentlemen. What say you?
Yes, we could end our journey for the day here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. To earn our keep, though, milady, is there anything we can do to help around here? Perhaps we have no coin, but we have our labor.
We are fully manned, and we are more than capable of handling things. But we do appreciate the offer. It is our gift to you to offer you our hospitality. Please come in and sample.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm going to lean over to the Dove Knight and say, do you think these are commoners too?
Are they knights? They're for commoners.
Very
easy test.
Okay,
I know how feudalism works. Come on.
Okay.
All right.
So
Yes.
she goes, come right this way, and she takes you to the to a hall that apparently is where a lot of the workers will take their breaks and eat communally and stuff like that. And many of the workers are stop working, and they want to see the knights, and so a trail of people sort of wander in behind you. And of course, a couple of stable hands take your horses if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
They have a stable and they take care of it. There's also a number of people who aren't native to the Hiveworks themselves that are in town as well. Many boating traders and that sort. It's sort of like opposite Dreg, right? Like it's very pleasant here, but it's like a river trading sort of area, right? But
yeah, it's a funny symmetry we've drawn here.
Yeah, it's actually kind of true. But the river traders themselves have a harder look to them. Not like they're mean or anything like that, but just like they've seen things, like they live a harder life, and they have a much more urbane sort of outlook. Like they come from Actopion, right? And they're here to take the rare goods from the funny little country folk sort of thing, right?
John, just at a glance, what technology are we talking about with these vessels? Are they sails? Are they oars? Or is there do we get a sense that they're slow big boats or fast small ones? You know what I mean? I'm just kind of gonna get
Most
an
of
idea.
them are small, like wallowing trader boats, like I don't know the word. There's cogs, sort of, with sails, a couple of sails,
single
like
mast sail,
single mast sail.
Yeah. I forgot the term for it. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so the takes you into this hall, and she starts to light some lights and stuff like that because it's not really the time to eat or anything. But she lets out a slight little eek, and she goes, "Davith, you fool!" And she kicks at something underneath the table, and you hear like, "Oh, sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I'll go." And a guy picks himself up from underneath the table, and
I found my squire.
You are you joking? Because you should.
He's about the same age as you, probably late teens, early 20s, sort of thing. And he's really sort of steps up from between the tables, and he wipes some spittle off of his face. He's got like red-ribbed eyes, and he's very, very unsteady as he sort of holds himself at the table. So sorry, mum, I had a little bit too much of the mead the other night. And she goes, "Davith, you do every night. Go home to your parents. I'm going to have a word with them this time." "Sorry, mum, we'll do, mum." And he sort of totters off. He knuckles his forehead like really loosely when he sees you. "It's just very nice to see you."
I didn't catch that, but I love it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'll try not to let this reflect on my good opinion of this establishment.
Please.
Don't mind Davith. He wanders in from the fields, and he's a little slow-minded, but he has a penchant for the mead. I'll have a word with Samson. Actually, Samson, here he is. Here, sit down, have some honey cakes. Samson comes in. This chief brewer comes in with like a retinue of workers who all are wearing like these thick leather aprons, and he comes in with like a tray full of samples of mead as well. So you have this mead and honey cakes, and they're quite delicious. Everything's very, very sweet, almost too much sweet, but it tastes really, really good after the rations that you've been eating up in the mountains, especially since your vigor is low.
John, what does Samson's hair look like?
His hair. So the Samson is Samzun. He's a young man, probably about your age as well, but he's very, very sickly, very, very thin. He seems to be racked with some sort of unknown disease, and he's coughing fitfully the entire time. He looks very, very sad. Quite the polar opposite of Prentice. Yeah. Actually, I should say he's more like late 20s, I should say. And he says, "Hello, sirs. Welcome. I hope you have enjoyed the mead so far."
So are we sort of sitting around like a table or a picnic table or
It's like a long trestle table?
Long trestle table.
Yeah.
We've got our armor off, or are we still wearing our armor? What do you think, guys? Are we making ourselves at home and getting comfortable?
Well,
I don't
one of the
remember
things I read in
Songray.
the book said running around in like your full plate is kind of viewed as kind of being like that's not really something that you normally do. Like we usually like mail is fine, I think, but helms and plates and stuff like that probably not.
Even for traveling,
Okay,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Even for traveling, you wouldn't probably be wearing your full plate
Yeah.
if you anticipated battle.
I'm kind of thinking we're kicking back, feet up, enjoying some mead and cakes, and thinking it's pretty good to be the king or the knight, I should say.
We thank him for his delicious mead. You are a master at your craft.
Thank you, sirs. Pardon me. The airs here. I don't know the drafts.
The airs in this region or from the beehives? What do you mean, the airs?
I'm not really sure if something's gone to me though. Been like this for the past season. Doesn't seem to be getting any better. That's all right. Got too much
Is
to
it
do.
just you, or is there does it occur to others as well?
Seems to be only me at this time.
Hmm.
Such is my fate. Things don't get any easier. I'm the only one who has the knowledge necessary to lead these men and women.
John, I
and their
kind of
duties.
want to. This is probably outside the realm of. You did myself with my elbow. This is probably outside the realm of like what the whole thing is, but I want to try and like encompass my role as the Bloody Knight to find out if his blood is like impure or like if like what the disease would be. So I'm going to look into his eyes and I'm going to like kind of like hold his hands in mine and like push his sleeves up to see if there's any sores or anything like that. And I just want to try and see if I can, if my knowledge of like vicissitude might come in here.
I like it. Let's see. Why don't you make me a spirit roll?
Okay. Spirit is actually my strong point.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a spirit of 14 and I rolled an 8.
Okay. So when he seems a little bit reluctant, first of all, to let you lay hands on him, but he realizes that would be offensive to a knight. So he sort of, kind of pulls back, but allows you to sort of take his arms, and you sort of gently roll up the sleeves, and you can see that, his arms are riddled with sores.
Okay.
Right. And we're not talking like Black Death, like buboes or anything like that, but like just pockmarked with like almost like a ringworm sort of thing, right? There's some sort of like red splotchiness and discoloration all along, and it's up like creeping up his neck as well. And his eyes have a like the whites of his eyes have started to take on like a sallow yellowness as well, and they are sinking into the sockets, creating like a dark circles on the orbital sockets around him, giving him more of like a skeletal appearance. And I'm going to say this, but I don't want you to assume that just makes you like the doctor of the group, Mike.
Sure.
Right? Like this is like not a one-time thing, but you just what I mean. Like don't abuse it.
Right.
But the that you're fairly certain when you look at him that this man has, unless a miracle cure is found, that he has a very short amount of time to live. That you could see death in his eyes, and even more so though because you succeeded really well in that spirit roll. I'm going to say that you've sort of formed a bond with him. And that when you look into his eyes, not only do you see his own death, but you see that he sees and has resigned himself to it. That he's a quiet and dignified resignation, but he's very sad about it.
Okay. Justifiably, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you no healers in this town or in this compound?
There are some who are skilled at herbs, but none, and many have treated me kindly, but none have been able to make any progress. I appreciate you looking at me, sir, but I have resigned myself to my fate. But what saddens me the most is that I have no heir, and the chief brewer is a hereditary position, handed down to me for my forefathers as it was handed down to them for ages past. And I fear, and he sort of brings you close away from like Prentice's hearing, who is Prentice is very much aware of what's going on, but is politely sort of stepped back and is busying herself with other things in the mess hall, kind of allowing you to have the private conversation. But this appears to be something that she is uncomfortable facing, right. is her partner's, not romantic, but just like her counterparts, conundrum.
Sure.
He says,
sorry.
If I should pass, which will be soon, the burden will fall to her, and she does not want it. She claims that she will be able to take on the burden, but it is too much. There are 2 operations here, and I must pass it on to someone who has the knowledge and the time. But alas, there is no one.
My brothers, I think that the fate explains to us why we have taken this route and come here. Mm-hmm. I think, what was his name again, John? This guy's
Samson.
Samson must accompany us to Ectopion, where either the queen can provide some healer for this malady or a solution to the problem, to name an heir or to apply the royal hand to this issue.
Are there any like sacred springs with healing waters that might help you, or have the healers given you no guidance at all on anything that they might need to be able to treat your illness?
We are a humble folk here, and the herbalists are not steeped in the ways of the deep lore of the worm, of the field and the briar and the wood. Simple cures. So no, they do not have the knowledge. Seers might, but we do not know where they are. They do not. They do not stoop to tend to the everyday needs of the people of the field. But yes, there are rumors, Knight, that there are, of course, legends of healing pools and fountains in the far places of the realm. Yes, but children's tales.
Not so. We've seen one ourselves. Far from here, and probably not able to heal your malady.
We are close to another seer.
I think that makes sense.
At least it's probably a thing.
Steelers should protect the realm as much as knights should, and indeed, the people are the realm.
My brother.
John, okay. Mirror Knight, what thinkest thou with your deep sighs and inhalation?
Oh, sorry. No, not a deep sigh. I'm curious. Again, I feel inspired by Mike's sort of approach here. I think it's really interesting. I have a mechanic that's also very interesting to my character that I can role play, but I wanted to bring up. I have something called Reflections of Blood, right? The concept of my character. And I is adjust the given got blow for blow from one shared lot, right? And the description of Reflections of Blood is, when I'm wounded, the attacker suffers the same vigor loss as I do. When I'm scarred, the attacker gets the same scar. When I'm wondering, what I'm sighing, not out of frustration, but out of pondering, and this may be stretching it too far, is if the Mirror Knight is premised on that exchange, and also I restore my equality as my passion. So when I give someone their fair share, I get whatever. Is there a world in which I could sacrifice some of my vigor to buy him more time within the logic of this knight? Or is that too far afield? If I can return blows made to me to an enemy, is there a logic that I could absorb some of his illness, take a vigor hit, and that might give us more time to search for a cure? Or is that too far beyond the language we're dealing with?
I like
you know
the
what I mean?
interpretation so much that it's really tough for me to say no.
Yeah.
And so
No pressure. I'm not going to be upset either way. But
I think it's like the same sort of situation as I gave Mike with the Bloody Knight. You guys are looking for interesting ways to interpret the idiom of your knight, right?
Yes.
But you're creating whole abilities out of whole cloth that aren't really in there. But
fair.
So but I just want to couch it in saying that I like it enough to allow it. But again, I just say the same thing to you, David, that I said to Mike, and that you can't abuse this stuff, right? Like
Sure.
Right. Like this is not something that you can just do all the time, but it is perfectly like a mirrored sort of thing, right?
And I'm taking a vigor loss, but it hurts me, is what I was thinking. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe he can do it, but he has to lick some of the sores.
okay,
Ew.
let's.
I would just like to point out, John, that we have been playing together. We've been playing together for 25 years, and I have never abused any ruling from any DM.
You were the paragon of just taking it as it is. Of never wheedling. Yeah.
Okay, so if that's something that we find interesting, I can do a quick character voice of that.
I love that idea, dude. I think
like
that's
because I like
cool.
how you were playing with that, Mike, and we both have like a blood concept there. So I will.
May I suggest, this is just a little role play thing here, David.
Sure.
I don't think you should do it like right here in the lunchroom.
I agree.
Yeah, like come to him at dawn or something, as we're leaving, and take him out on the docks in the sunlight. I don't know, something, but like right here in the lunchroom seems not very mythic.
I hear you.
One thing, and it kind of depends on in this situation what he's doing, but taking this at a higher level, what I'd like to do is the Iron Knight is either mirror him, like if he's still, it seems like he's still working to try to get this all done, like he's not giving up. It's not like he's bedridden or anything, like he's still working. What I'd like to do is kind of follow him, like shadow him along, just on his, show some curiosity, show a willingness to see what he's doing, but with a mind towards trying to figure out if there's anything in his environment that he's doing that seems to be causing this.
Sure.
So I just want to like research and follow him and shadow him as he does his stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
What I'm going to say, John, even though Ted, I was getting there, baby.
I know.
Great minds.
I just wanted
the
to
Mirror Knight, right? There's the motif. Literally, the illustration for my knight is a body of water. We are at a lake. Right?
Oh, perfect.
So I want to take him aside quietly when conversation has drifted otherwise. And I want to say, my friend, I cannot promise you that I can heal you, but I can give you a small sliver of time. Meet me in the morrow when the sun is rising over Great Lake Arniso, such that it looks like glass in its placidity, light upon light, and I will give you a little bit more of what you deserve.
Your hospitality is tremendous, sir. And I will take you up on that offer, though I should warn you that there is little that can heal me, and I fear that that even though your heart is true, that you will be met only with disappointment.
I know no disappointment in the extension of what we all deserve. Time.
I will meet you on the morrow then. Thank you. Any bows low.
Watch him croak tonight.
So,
well,
you're given a broad tour of the area, and you're kind of given like what's generally going on. So they'd say that they do except for the winter time when everyone sort of hunkers down, they do a pretty robust business, mostly trading over Lake Arnile to Actopion, and also going further up what they call the let me get the name of it here. Oh geez, give me 1 second. It's a river, and I got it. Hold on 1 second. That makes sense. The River Arn. Trading up towards what they name a holding. They call it Allstone Keep. So they trade up the river to Allstone Keep and also across the river to Actopion, and do a pretty robust trade. And then they also get the goods they need in return from those holdings. But they are but it's never this busy, and that's because of the oncoming of Sceptremass. Which they are all assuming without even asking. That is, of course, your natural reason for being here, and you're looking for. They just assume that you're looking for passage aboard a ship to cross Lake Arnile in order to present yourself to Queen Engelmara during Sceptremass, because all of the knights and vassals of the realm, of course, must reaffirm and restate their fealty to their lords at Sceptremass. So even if that may not be your primary goal, that's what they assume it is, unless you tell them otherwise. So in the midst of this tour, that drunk Davith, sort of as you're kind of looking at like one big still or something like that, and one of the brewers is kind of telling you how they make the mead, and Davith sort of comes out of nowhere. Like, you didn't even see him coming, and he sort of bumps into you, and he says, I know the way. I know the way to cure Samson. They say there's a fountain of red water, not blood, red water. Beyond Actopion, at the feet of the gates of dawn. Yes. They say that I've been there. I've been there in my dreams. And you drink of it, and you be cured of whatever ails you. It tastes like mead. It's so sweet. And he sort of wanders off looking for some sort of, like a keg that's been tapped or something like that.
Big Rock Candy Mountain, this guy. So do you guys think we should... I still want to go see the Spectral Seer rather than going across the lake. But
I think we need to do that, if nothing else, to confirm what we think we know, right? Like, I mean, that's great that the village drunk thinks that this fountain will do the job, but the seer might literally have something in her pockets that could help out.
Also, we can ask more about the Watcher, right? Yeah. And we can ask more about this prophecy, right? Which we didn't really talk that much to the orbital seer about. What is it that the seers want and the meteor knight to do, and what do they think would happen if he were to leave?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I think we stay here the night, and then everyone show of hands if they think we should go back down to the Spectral Knight at the mouth of the river.
I think so. John, just in terms of timing, the Sceptremass is the holiday, right? Mm-hmm. That's in a few days, in a week. About how long?
You don't have to worry. It's all
okay. It seems like there should be time enough
at mid-season, so it's like the mid-season marker sort of thing. Okay. Yeah. It is approaching soon.
Okay. All right. So we should have time. It is important.
And can Samson accompany us? Is he willing? Is he able to?
Well, we haven't
travel.
We haven't done Sir Meridian's thing.
Oh yes, of course.
So the morning rises, and let's see.
John, I have gone out there before the sun's rising, and I am waist deep in the water and the darkness, waiting for the sun to rise. Just so you know.
Okay, cool. So this actually works out really nice. As you do that, you're alone. It's very, very quiet. There is the chirping of early morning birdsong. and some insects as well. The night insects are sort of slowly going to bed as the birds are sort of rising. And as you wade out a couple yards into the water itself, it's still relatively shallow, and it's very, very reedy here along the edge. Right, it's just sort of like the land just sort of fades into the river, into the lake itself, and a gentle fog, much less menacing than the fog that sort of encompassed you up in the mountains, rolls off the lake in the morning. Right, and coolly caresses your skin as you wade out into the lake, obscuring almost everything. You can see the buildings of the Hiveworks behind you as sort of hazy, shadowy substances that are sort of wavering in the fog, in the early morning fog, and it's all lit by it's diffused with pink early morning sunshine. Right, so everything's just sort of like this rosy, dusky pink. Around, and then a figure wavers out and approaches at the end of the dock, and you're sort of looking up because you're in the water itself, and you see it materialize as Samson, and he's sort of bent over, and he's his coughing disturbs the pleasantness of the entire affair. As you hear the bird sort of you hear like as birds sort of flutter off from his coughing. This is good night. I am here.
You have come. I'm glad you put your trust into me, good Samson. I keep calling him Samson. Sorry.
Samson, yeah. S-A-M.
Samson. Okay. Come to the, he's on the dock, so come to the edge of the dock. Do not disturb the water. You understand? Reach out to me that I might clasp your hand and look down upon the water's glass-like surface.
He does so.
I'm going to reach and I'm going to clasp him like this while we are both looking at the reflection of the water. And in my imagination, a boil on his arm will sort of fade and appear on my arm because I've removed my long glove. Sorry. The other part of this, it's funny, Matt, again, great minds. I have these gloves on all of my my arms because I'm a guy who's covered in scars because I'm the mirror knight, right? Like the whole thing is that I'm reflecting blows back and forth, right? So maybe not covered in stars, but that's why I have these long gloves on. I reach out, add the wound, put my glove back on, and send him on his way, essentially.
Okay, so he looks astounded as he sort of gets a little bit straighter in the back, and he, as you're gripping his arm, he grips back as the transfer occurs, and he says, "No, sir," and he pulls you kind of halfway out of the water. He says, "I can't let you do that, sir."
It has already been done, my friend. Do not regret it. Appreciate the light upon the horizon behind me, and know that you will see some bit more of it.
You are a miracle worker. The worm has blessed us with your passage and with your companions as well. I shall speak of your coming to anyone who comes across the Hiveworks.
They are all great knights. I'm blessed to be traveling with them.
He again shows his total gratitude to you. He's wide-eyed and wondrous, like he's just witnessed something holy, as he sort of stumbles back into the fog. So cool. Why don't we roll a D6, and you'll take that much vigor loss.
All right, maybe
back to brass tacks.
What's your normal vigor? My max vigor is a 6, and I just rolled a 6.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Well, we just established that kind of zero vig does not kill you.
Sure.
Okay, so
don't tickle though.
That's a nasty pimple you picked up on your arm there.
Okay, so you are at Vig 0 and you are exhausted. I'm looking on page 9 here. So you're exhausted and you cannot attack it if you have moved this turn. So that's more of like a combat sort of thing. But yeah, I think that's the horses have exhausted thing too. But so it's mostly a combat thing. But I would say it's one of those things where you you're gonna have to role play it like you can barely move.
Yes,
right?
I think I think what happens is I sort of maintain sort of this placid facade until he has disappeared into the morning mist and can no longer see me. And sort of the serenity of the lake is turned to chaos as I sort of, my legs sort of drop from me and I sort of fall into the water and almost for a second thrash like I'm going to drown before I restabilize myself and crawl to the shore.
Okay, cool. We could, you know what? Let's make it even a little bit more dramatic, shall we say?
Sure.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
I don't mind the bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Like in the lake, and you, like you said, like you thrash, and you, as you're unable to sort of right yourself, and you come close to drowning. Like you start to suck in some of the waters of Lake Arnile, and we have like one of those classic movie moments. I think it was actually happened in Excalibur with Percival, right, where he's sinking in the water. Right, and he sees his life flashing before his eyes, and you, as you come to, and you thrash up, and you break out of the water. Hair goes back, and you gaze out upon the lake, and you see before you the wide vista of the lake itself, and you see on the far shore the spires of Actopion. But you know that you're nowhere near close enough to actually see those. And when you crawl back, astounded, upon the lake, onto the shores of the lake next to the dock, and you look back across the lake, you can't see them anymore. And you're fairly certain that it wasn't the spires of Actopion that you saw.
It was the city.
And we'll just leave it there.
It was the city.
Yeah, let's take our second break on that note. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full, mics working. Okay. Yeah, awesome scene, guys. Really well done. Is there anything further you'd like to do here at the Sundown, Hiveworks, and Meadery?
Well, I guess I'll ask the question, like, in following him around and seeing what he did I notice anything out of place that I could sense is maybe something he does that nobody else does that could possibly be causing this?
No, unfortunately not. I'll just tell you straight up. Everything seems to be pretty robust and healthy and moving along which makes his illness even stand out the further as something mysterious, just because it only seems to be affecting him. However, I'll say too, as you're sort of shadowing him throughout the day, that his especially his side of the business, like the brewery side of the business, all of his apprentices and workers and family members and things like that are walking much more on eggshells around him than they are around Prentice and the apiary side of things. Like they're like merrily working with the bees and collecting the honey and things like that and dealing with the traders, and it's much more solemn, steady, just nose to the grindstone work in the meadery itself, as if like his mood is sort of rippling outwards to his workers, sort of thing. Like, and they can see that there's obvious concern on all of their brows, like about his health and the future of the meadery.
Okay.
Yeah, Ted.
Does he gain enough vigor / health to be able to come with us in the morning, or is he going to? Is he still too frail to travel?
He is. I would say that for certain that the vigor boost that he got allows him to travel more than he normally would. The question is, will he? Are you making that? Are you making that offer?
I think he should come with us to the Seer and then to Actopion.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's the only person who can do this work, and so if we take him, the work would stop, and they wouldn't have the mead that they need for their trade.
Oh no! That's if he's run this operation properly, it will be fine for the week or two that he's gone. We can't heal him by remote control, he's got to come see the queen. If for no other reason, then he must name a worthy successor. Next season, that'll be when the real trouble starts if he's not around.
I think he can't name a successor, Ted, because he hasn't trained anybody. He's waiting to have a child that he can bring up in the work, right?
No, I understand that, but
yeah, I hear what Ted's saying. Like you're saying, like if he's assuming that he's going to die, then he needs to find someone that's worthy enough to succeed him. If they can't find someone hereditary, right? I mean, more than likely it would probably be someone here because he's got experts working for him.
I think we need to sober up that drunk teen.
Yeah.
Davith.
Like Squire, you mean?
Yeah, my Squire.
Yeah.
And our plan is to go to the Seer to ask for her aid, correct?
Right. And I would assume he would need to be there to receive that aid.
If
he's
we're taking
reluctant.
him, then we're taking the drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put it this way: his attitude is very much what you anticipated. The rest of you guys anticipated that he's, I've got too much work here to do. Prentice actually steps in and she puts a gentle hand raises up to his shoulder and says, "You need to go with these knights." Like, she sort of stands right next to Sir Aurelius when Sir Aurelius makes the offer and says, "It was meant to be." And she looks meaningfully over at Sir Meridian, and she says, "I will take on the burden for now, and I will leave your seat waiting for you when you are sure to return a healthier man. Go with them." Right. So she sort of backs you up, Sir Aurelius, and he looks like very skeptical, typical guy who's like a workaholic, just can't let go. He's a control sort of guy.
I've never known what that's like. Have you guys?
Me neither. I have no idea what being a control freak is about, but I assume it's like this. And he reluctantly agrees. And but there is one thing you do notice, Sir Aurelius, when he accepts your invitation with a bowed head and a sweeping gesture, is that there is a slightly brighter spark in his yellowing eyes, and you may even attribute it to something called hope.
I'll chuck him on the shoulder and I'll say, "Is a little travel do you good, my friend?"
He hawks up something nasty. I'm sure.
Yes, but maybe you should ride over there. You're going to be
someone was saying I should go with you. I'm not going too.
I put my hand on Davith's shoulder. I surreptitiously look around to see if he's carrying any wineskins of mead or anything like that.
He certainly is, yes.
Okay. I take them from him and I pass them to Prentice. And I say, "This boy is in need of a little guidance and hard travel. I will take him as my servant for now."
Am I to be your squire, sir?
You have not earned that yet, my lad. But we shall
prove it
see.
to you. I shall prove to you be a worthy squire.
Not to mention, I've got way stronger booze than your meat.
I am your man. I am your man to the death, sir.
Okay.
I have to go tell mom
now, but wait till you die out.
I got to go tell mother. And he
Go tell mother and borrow a pony. You'll need it.
Okay, so we'll say that they can get a decent steed for Samson as well. Both of the steeds for both of these gentlemen are not combat worthy at all. In fact, if the steeds actually face like a pitched battle, they're likely to bolt. Like they're just not trained for battle in any way, shape, or form. Just be aware. But they're fine for normal travel.
Good.
And Samson, even though he's a very, very skilled person, is also not a warrior in any sense of the word at all. Has no knowledge of how to defend himself. They do have a smattering of weapons, mostly like modified farm implements here at. But as you noticed when you came in, it's not defended. And who noticed that? Aurelius first? Was that you?
I
Ted?
think you just told us. Actually, I don't think we.
Someone asked me if there was walls around the place.
Oh, the wall.
Yeah. So it's a worrisome thing if it was Meridian who brought it up. Whenever he voices that it's not a walled area. Like now, apparently they've been here for generations. So apparently and this general area too, the grasslands is called the Sundowns. Just so you're aware, like the overall grasslands here in the West. Apparently it's not rife with too much danger, but your military nature just sort of looks at it askance. Like if anyone decided to set their sights on this area, on this thing, a very valuable property, they would be meat for the beast, sort of thing. Okay.
Oh, John, I think this is a good place to ask as well. With this change in locale and this new thing that we're taking on, is there any change on what I'm seeing in my scabbard, or is it still the three dogs?
It is still the three dogs.
Okay.
3 dogs. Yeah. Yeah, I know this is going to end up being very disappointing for you.
No. I don't want it to be a pain, but I'm always curious. Right?
Yeah. Of course, you should always ask, but just be prepared for the same answer often.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So is Samson going to bring a weapon of any kind, like a bill or one of these sort of farm implement kind of things on a pole?
He was not thinking to do so, but if you tell him to do so, or if you can provide him with something a little bit more purposeful.
He shouldn't. It is the role of the knight to defend the realm and the people. He is clearly the people, and in many ways the very essence of the realm, and it's our job to stand between him and danger. I was just curious what sort of weapon he would bring if he did.
It would be something like that, like a bill hook, or a scythe, or perhaps, or something like that.
Right.
So as the populace, first of all, Prentice sort of speaks for the entire operation now as he kind of says goodbye to you. And she says, in her very regimented uniform, the whole 9 yards. And she's very formal in saying that she is so happy that you have accepted their hospitality, and she hopes that they have pleased you with rest, and that none of our burdens have been foisted upon you. And she looks pointedly at Meridian. When she says that,
I ask only one burden be foisted upon me, which is some more of those excellent honey cakes for the road.
What a charm.
That is a burden I could gladly bear.
And she says, I was one step ahead of you. And she has a basket that's, steam coming out of it. And the rest of the populace is looking very worriedly over at Sir Meridian, because Sir Meridian is stooped over his horse, right? Head down, coughing, you haven't actually taken, you're not suffering from the same disease that he was, David, but you're exhausted. I'm trying to exhibit how you're exhausted, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you can barely talk, you can barely move, you can barely raise your hand in farewell, the whole 9 yards, right? It's just your friends had to almost hoist you onto your horse.
Yeah.
And
I think I'm probably, especially since this was sort of a combined effort, I think I'm riding adjacent to my compatriot, the Blood Knight, and maybe even if I can't lean on him, I'm sort of there with the expectation that he could help me if I'm,
Right, cool. I don't want to, again, stymie your forward momentum in going forth, but you should be aware of the mechanic that if, as we just realized at the top of the session, if you spend a day in warm hospitality, you regain your vigor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's very easy to just say, I spend one more day here, but if you feel the urgency of the plot or the narrative moving you out, that's totally fine. But I just want to make that very clear that maybe this is the last time you have warm hospitality for some time. Right.
I guess
I would say, go ahead. Sorry, Mike.
No, I was going to say, I know that I did not realize that once again, we could just hang out for a day and get back vigor. And I just assumed that while he had that condition, he was pretty much fucked. But that does make me rethink the whole idea of heading out right away the next morning.
He got this, he became exhausted right in the morning, in the early morning hours. So it's still the same day.
To channel the spirit of Ted, I think
it's
always the arbiter of great wisdom, bravery,
very proud,
and Excel sheets with great detail. But I think that the drama that you've established, John, is far more compelling. The idea that we leave town in this state, that it almost feels anathema to the gift that's been given to just hang out now and heal.
Be like
overstaying. Instead, the next warm part of the journey of this gift is the next warm embrace we'll get, perhaps will be at the Seer, right? That's the urgency that the time I've given has bought, right? On some level. If you guys agree,
it's imperative. Who knows? If you heal up, maybe he'll go back down to where he was.
Right. That's a great concept, Matt. Too, the idea that we don't really even understand the logic of our own mysticism is a fun concept. I like that.
Sure.
Well, and I think that the nature of what you did is sacrificial, and the whole point of sacrifice is that you must bear it as a burden.
You worked it through it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we just need to go.
Precisely. I think
the honey buns will help. 100%. I'm sure.
Definitely help.
Okay.
And
so just as you have protected this man. It is our role to protect you. So, there you go.
Okay,
I love
so you it's actually, you got to move your marker here, guys.
Oh, that old thing.
You're right there. So what hex are you planning to move into?
Seems like we
wanna
should
go-
go on that one.
Yeah, southwest.
Southwest. Okay, and are you galloping?
And David
If David can gallop.
Actually, I'm actually going to rule that. I'm going to say that if you want David to be with the company, you cannot gallop.
Yeah,
Okay.
it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
We want David to be with company.
Okay, so you were going to move one hex at a light trot, as the weather. Still, the sound of faint thunder in the distance. Sounds like so.
Ominous. Love it.
Very ominous, yeah. And you're moving through. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So you're moving through the Sundowns here. It's open grassland with dotted. Again, it's not a homogeneous biome here, right? So there's a number of copses and dells and small little creek valleys that you're moving through at the same time. But overall, it's like a wide-ranging grassland that you have a far vantage point in this very humid day with the crack of thunder way off in the distance, rumbling every once in a while. There is and as the day sort of reaches its crescent, you hear off in like one of the small copses of trees that dots the landscape. You hear the distressed cry of like a bird, like a fowl, like a disturbed, like clucking almost of pain and
Well, the Dove Knight will immediately peel off and go investigate.
Because they're people, yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant the Bitch Knight will do that. That's
okay. As you enter this copse, you see that there is a mighty tree at the center of it. One of those sorts of trees that with its roots are so gigantic and drinks so much water that it has killed any of the undergrowth or ability for surrounding trees to even get close to it. Like it's a solitary tree, menacing in its size and hunger. And amidst the towering roots that are almost at head height, perhaps not as tall as you on your horses, but easily as if you were dismounted, there is a gigantic bird that is trapped within the roots, and the roots are attempting to strangle it and very old man willow-like trying to suck it into its innards. And the bird itself has a beautiful blue-green shimmering crest atop of it and a long blue-green neck. And you can see that it trails a long veil of feathers. And you can see that it is a peacock.
all right.
Not native to this land that you can see. It's a very strange, and it is huge. I don't mean just the veil. Like the bird itself is very, very large.
Right. I will immediately spur my horse. Hi, big spruce, to the battle, and ride up and take a thwack at the root. Whatever root appears to be sort of chiefly embracing the bird.
Okay. Is anyone else joining him in this attack on the tree?
I mean, I've always been a big fan of Don Quixote, so let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Go tilt at this tree.
I don't know that I have a lot of vigor to give, but I will be very enthusiastically trotting in that direction behind you.
There you go.
Yeah. Bruno would also step up. Yeah, he'd follow along.
Okay, and what do you tell Samson and Davith to do?
Stay here.
Abbott should
We
watch
have
and
to fight
learn.
that tree.
It's one of the. He is like, no, sirs, that's one. Look to the side, sir. And he's pointing vaguely like towards another mass of roots amongst the trees.
Okay.
And you realize that this Davith guy has weird insight sometime. right?
Okay.
And as you kind of pick up on it, you see that there is a very strange looking saddle that is near the peacock. And it's I don't know the word for like the strap that goes underneath the girth. But that is has been, what's it called? A girth strap?
Yeah, it goes under the belly of the horse.
Yeah.
Like a girth strap.
Sweet. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nice.
There,
Good job.
It's been shorn roughly.
Yeah.
But the shape of the saddle itself does not look like it would sit comfortably on a horse or anything of that nature.
On a bird, perhaps.
So it's a weird thing. You're not really sure what's going on.
Is he saying, like, I don't know, it sounded like Davith was saying, don't attack the tree, there's a saddle there, which is a weird thing to say.
It is a weird thing to say, but he's not necessarily saying that, but he just is like, Sirs. He's sort of pointing it out.
Oh, okay. I'm going to attack the tree then.
Okay.
I'll head over towards the. How close is that saddle? Far away? Because I can head towards the saddle while he's attacking.
You would be in danger of being attacked by the roots if the roots decide that they don't like you. If you go towards the saddle or the bird, they're both within these roots. And remember, they're really big roots, like man height, right? And they're towering and they're moving and writhing like huge, thick boas.
Haven't you ever wanted to decapitate a tree, Matt?
It has no head. It has no arms. It will be an interesting challenge.
It does have limbs.
Oh.
Trees have limbs, so you can get at him.
So I guess I will go and try to hack off a limb that's in the way of this saddle, so I can retrieve it.
Okay, so Aurelius and Sir Bruno are attacking the tree. Sir Malachi,
I'm riding with Ted, and I'm going to attack with him.
Okay, and Sir Meridian, you so what did we say for?
I have 0 vigor, so I can't attack and move in the same round.
That's correct.
So I won't be attacking any trees. I could help with the saddle in the retrieval end. I'm not going to be super helpful, but I think in my enfeebled state, maybe I could kind of sputter up hacking and try to grab it while Sir Malachi? No.
Brunor.
Sorry.
At this stage, I mean, it's very brave of you to do this because you're at 0 vigor. If you take damage now, I think
you're toast.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
Yeah,
you should stay back.
I could just stay with the squire and the Why don't I hang back? I think in fact I'm probably not even conscious enough to make that decision. I think I'm so probably addled, but and I mean genuinely, if I'm really thinking about it, if I you practically had to tie me to my saddle to keep me on my horse. I think probably so. I think this is probably like a fever dream of sounds and chaos in my perception that I don't fully understand what's going on, but I know something's bad.
You just drag behind. Yeah, definitely the better part of valor because they're absolutely right. This is actually kind of a cool scenario that I'm kind of seeing with the rules now about how dangerous it is to even venture forth with something when you're at vigor 0 because anything that could hurt you is gonna kill you.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just kind of deliriously hearing the clashing and everything that's about to happen. Okay. Go for it, gang.
John, I think rather than endanger my horse, I'll as I run up to the tree, I'll leap off the horse and attack on foot.
Okay.
It's probably easier to attack a tree on foot than on horseback, I think.
Okay.
That's crazy.
All right. So Malachi and Sir Bruno are staying at top. All right. So we're getting close to the end of the session. So let's roll some dice here.
All right. So I will attack the tree with my stout blade in my right hand and my dagger in my left.
Okay.
And are we pooling this die or are we attacking separate?
You're all attacking the same tree, so you're all attacking the same target. Yeah.
I have a question for you, John. It's not really realistic that I could add the trample for my horse on a massive tree, correct?
No, I would believe it would actually work here.
Okay.
Because there are some routes that you could actually step over and crush. Yeah.
Okay. Ready, boys?
All right.
So let's go Ted first.
Wow. I rolled a 2, and a 1.
Ooh.
You're killing it.
I don't know what happened there.
That is not good.
No, it's not all that helpful.
All right. I'm going to roll next since I'm caller. I rolled a 2 and a 2.
He's gonna kick your ass.
All right, Sir Bruno, you've showed him last time how to do this combat thing. Let's show him.
Yeah,
again,
you better demonstrate here, buddy.
I didn't. I'm still stretching out the dice. You got to stretch before you really run.
Mhm.
You don't want to pull anything.
That's what I forgot to do.
Yeah. So I did roll a 1, but I also rolled a 4.
Oh, good.
So I can do something.
Okay, so
Maybe
here's
just
the
do
deal.
some damage.
Your high roll is a 4.
Yeah.
So you could apply that to damage if you wanted to. That could also be used as your lone gambit, and you could do 2 damage to the tree.
I don't know how much a gambit's going to help with this tree. I would say damage, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're just got to chop a tree down, basically. Just hit it for 2 and or hit it for 4, and we'll find out what its guard and armor is and so on.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so you so you're just hitting it for 4 straight up, right?
Yeah. Whip out the cleaving blade and give it a mighty swing.
Okay, so it chunks heavily and notches into one of the roots that's coming swinging for the legs of your horse, Sir Brunor, as they're also swinging for the rest of you guys. You guys managed to either jump like Sir Aurelius or dodge out of the way with your horse, Sir Malachi. But you cannot find purchase at all. Your cleaving blade goes in, but it doesn't seem to slow down the tree at all. And the peacock is pulled ever closer into the great maw that is now sort of opening up around at the base of the tree.
So it is unwounded.
Roll.
It is unwounded, and now it's going to slap at you guys. It's going to do a blast attack, which is just a bunch of roots just going on every person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, here we go. God damn it, John.
You guys. Where are the woodcutters?
Okay. So Sir Malachi. Numerous roots come swiping at the side and over top, just clobber you all over. 16 points of damage.
Oh my God. Guess we're gonna die.
Wow. Okay. Can we assume that we put our plate back on, or are we still not wearing that at all? I'm just curious.
I'll allow it because I think you would see the thread of the tree and probably would have taken the time.
Well, an Excalibur and the Green Knight, they're always wearing their armor when they're actually traveling on their horses, right? It's only when you're relaxing that you're not wearing your plate, right?
Well, we said the exact opposite, like the last conversation.
Don't pay attention to that.
Worthy question.
Okay.
I think John's going to allow it now, but John, in the future, would you like us to be explicit? Like that's something we're establishing?
Probably
we'll say when we're
a good thing. Yeah, like every time we go through a travel phase, probably be good.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. Okay.
So, John, first you said 16 points. I'm going to take off 1 point from my mail, 1 point from my helm. That's going to be 14 points. Then 3 points from my guard. That's going to be 11 points. And I'm at 0.
You're at You're
exactly at 0.
Wait.
Wait, big 0?
Big 0?
Big 0, correct.
That's not good.
Nope. Thank God I picked up a squire.
Don't worry, Mike. I'll be holding your hand soon, I think.
I'm pretty sure your squire is getting drunk behind my lilting body right now.
Is there a mead night? Is it?
Okay. Yeah, if damage reduces the target's VIG to 0, they are slain.
Oh, really? Straight up, just for real? So I just want to make sure I did my math. Oh, wait, now here's my question. Does my brutal plate kick in on this attack, right? Because it only works when I'm wounded. But if it, you know what I'm saying? Like if it comes off first, then it doesn't work because I'm at full, right? But if it then activates because I'm now wounded.
I got to be rather strict with that one because it's definitely like it only kicks in when you are wounded, right? So it would be the first thing taken off and you were at full when it was taken off, right?
Correct.
Then there's no really other way to look at that.
I just want to make sure I'm doing the math then. So 16 minus 2 is 14. 14 minus 3 for guard is 11. My VIG is 11. I'm at 0. I'm dead.
You have
you take a scar at 0.
No, when you're at guard is 0.
Guard
Oh,
is
when your
0.
guard is 0. That's right.
Yeah, so it went straight through his guard and took all of his vigor in one blow. I rolled max on the possible damage.
Thanks, John.
Please don't do that again.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I'm
you had
sorry,
that
Mike,
experience,
that's
John,
brutal.
but you don't
Sorry, man.
need to do that.
Okay,
It's okay.
so the they come out of nowhere and they just bash Sir Malachi out of his saddle. The horse goes careening and screaming against one of the roots as well. Manages to pick itself up, but his crumpled form is quickly smothered by the roots, and Sir Malachi is lost to sight.
No.
All right.
Ouch.
No.
So Aurelius, you're going to take 7 points of damage.
That puts me at 0 guard.
0 guard even with armor?
Yeah, I have 5 guard and 2 armor.
Okay. Let's see. Take the die that causes scar and roll it again. Right. Okay.
You guys have me nervous.
Okay. This is wild. Yeah. I mean, it's very dramatic. For what it's worth, really cool
By
death.
tree.
I mean, honestly, very cool, right? Just kind of being,
All right. So you have guard 0, which means that you are. We forgot about this last time. Actually, you're exposed for one thing.
okay.
It doesn't really mean anything. Never mind.
Okay, Ted's kind of into that.
You just have 0. You have 0 guard. So you, as you are running on your feet towards the peacock and trying to swing a blow at the tree, a thin root kind of slips in, like you're avoiding like a larger one. You think that's the major threat, but you don't see the thin one coming in, and it jabs at you and rips out an eye.
Oh.
The slow root penetrates the shield.
It does. It does.
No.
What is your maximum guard?
My maximum guard is 5.
5. Okay, never mind. All right, so you have lost an eye, and you are in great pain.
Ouch.
Well, then hopefully this will kick in my vengeance thing here.
Okay, Brunor, you take 10 points of damage.
Okay. I can do that. Okay. I've got 2 armor. I've got 6 guard. So that's 8. So I take 2 points of damage,
From
which
Vig.
is not quite half.
Okay, so you're just straight up wounded.
I'm just straight up wounded, and I'm down to 3 vigor, 0 guard.
Okay.
Whew.
So you back away from the battle, outside the copse of trees. Sir Meridian and Davith and Samson are looking upon this horror story with great dismay.
Yeah.
So it is the top of the round again. What would Sir Aurelius and Sir Brunor like to do?
Yeah, it's a thing. Like, are we the brave knights that die fighting this tree to save a peacock that we barely even know?
Or are we the sort of knights who, having engaged in battle, see it through to the end, because that is what heroes do?
And that is what I will shortly experience.
You're not fools. Let's put it that way, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I mean,
Well-
you can't get mad at me if you decide to see this through, then I'll die and be like, "Well, this game sucks because you made me push
I
through."
definitely
The only player
will.
left is David lying in a stupor, like 50 feet away.
Well, I mean, there is something poetic, again, not to make this about me as y'all die, but there's something poetic to me being like on the verge of unconsciousness and just hearing this, just to paint the picture, right? Like
No, that is
hearing
actually
this
really cool,
going
yeah.
on is like a beautiful image in my mind, you know?
Also,
Yeah.
like we're military people. Like we're men who fight for a living. We know when it's time to. Well, I mean,
So-
you could call it running away, but you could also call it like a tactical retreat and recircle.
Yeah.
To make it more like a mythic sort of thing, and we do have to wrap up too. I'm going to give you this option right here. Okay, so it's obviously been telegraphed that there is no possible way that you're going to be able to defeat the tree before you all get slaughtered by the roots, right? It's just the mathematics just outweigh you. There's no possible way. However, the peacock, you have one last round in which you could attempt to try to do something to get the peacock instead of attacking the tree. But if you fail on that attempt, not only does the tree get an attack on you again, but it will also swallow the peacock. You see what I'm saying? So like you have one round in order to save the peacock, and that's basically the only good that you can get out of this. But you would have to have like a support thing with gambits, like basically like get the peacock, but then also like repel the tree or something like that in order to cover your escape. I don't want to spell it out for you. You're gonna have to kind of think tactically.
Yep. The other option exists of just yelling at the tree, release the peacock or I will light you on fire.
Mm-hmm, yep. Or just retreating. You could just retreat.
I can retreat the
initiative, so you could just run away.
It will eat the peacock. We stay here and save and make an attempt to save the peacock. It doesn't have to be fighting. We could try to rally its spirits. We could try to throw something in there to distract it so that it could wiggle its way out or something. But which I'm willing to do,
because you can get creative with gambits. Don't forget that you're not beholden to just those listed. It could be any one of them is other effect of a similar level of impact. So you can get creative.
Okay, on the subject of creativity, I don't know how, but great minds, right? We all try to. I have something called the hushing bell. Okay, the hushing bell works like this: those who hear the bell hear nothing else. That's all the description is. So what I imagine is either a piercing ring that's supernaturally loud, or has some sort of encircling effect on those can hear, or vibrations or whatever. Can you guys conceive of a reason that Meridian kind of coming to and ringing the bell would be helpful to you in your endeavor? I don't know if John can even arbitrate that, but I'm throwing it out there because it's about all I can do.
Yeah. Trees don't have ears, man. I don't know how it would.
No, for sure. But if you're trying to get the peacock, I don't know, to lure the peacock to you were talking about these sorts of things. That's why I'm throwing it out there, because my mind can't think of a clean solution, but there are three of you. So
okay, so yeah.
I think probably a more likely thing is we try some feats. Like one of us denies the tree while the other one.
I have an idea for David's bell. I'm sorry. I just want to interrupt real quick. What if David were to the sound is caused by vibrations, right? So what if you were to ring the bell and then press your hand, like channel the vibrations or whatever, do like your dagger or whatever and channel it into the ground near one of the roots? Maybe it just gives you guys an extra die for your feats. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it just is a very minor effect, but I think it could be very thematic too.
Ted just brought up something that we completely overlooked.
Is deny.
Right.
You all should have denied.
We all should have.
No, I would have if I
forgot
had
about it
in
the first round.
Yeah.
Well, there's a death on the line. I think we should. I think we should retro it.
John, that first roll, we literally had one die. That was it.
You don't need dice for
you don't need feat. You can just do.
You can just do it. It's
and if you fail,
it's automatically successful. But then if you fail your save, then you can't do them anymore.
Yeah,
and you get to, for deny, you get to do it after the attack roll, so you would have known how much damage was done. We should do it.
Shit.
We should do it. Let's go back. I think this is worth it. This is one of those things. It's like
we're learning the system. I mean, this is
learning
great.
the system.
Yeah.
I know it's like kind of kills the pacing, but we need to.
No, it's okay.
I mean, if a death is a fair death, then I supported of it, and I thought it was. But if we were more familiar with the rules, you would have been like, "Fuck that! I'm deny." Like this is the time to use it, right?
Okay.
But are we okay with staying a little bit later? I know it's really late.
Yeah.
Don't mind.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. All
so
right.
let me try to deny. Well, actually,
let's let Mike do it first.
What?
Okay.
Let's let Mike's life is on the line. So
we're going back in time. Yeah.
Oh, he can deny it on himself. He can make the deny himself.
Yeah.
Against you or an ally within arm's reach. Okay. So Mike, it was 2d8 damage. I maxed out and I did 16. So you would deny.
Okay.
And then you would just say, like, take away one of the 8s, right? Obviously.
Sure.
Okay. So you do that. Now roll a spirit save.
Okay. And I rolled a 13 and my spirit is 14.
Ooh, just barely. So you're not fatigued. So you can actually use deny again if you need to, or any of the other feats. Okay, but you take away that 8, so now the root only does 8 damage to you.
Okay.
So now how much are you left
so
with?
now we take away 2, 1 for my helm, 1 for my mail, and then 3 for my guard. So that's 5. And that means that 3 more get through. So my vigor drops from 11 to 8.
And it's not a mortal wound because it wasn't half. So you're just straight up wounded, and now your brutal armor kicks in.
Oh, so now the armor would soak another one?
No, next time though.
Next time.
Right?
Okay.
Now you're wounded, right? So the brutal
Gotcha.
armor probably manifests in some sort of cool way, like grows spikes or like seeps more rust or something like that, but it looks even more brutal, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now my question is what happens to my guard? Is my guard now at 0 for the rest of the battle?
Yeah, your guard's done. Yeah.
Okay.
Your guard is your ability to avoid damage, and it went right through your guard, so it's out. So, okay, so Ted, how much damage did I do to you?
7.
7. I rolled a 3 and a 4. You want to deny the 4?
You could get rid of the 4.
I will. I will deny the 4.
Okay, roll me a spirit save.
All right. I have a spirit of 8, and I rolled a 2.
Oh, dang! All right, so you also. Okay, so only 3 get through. Does that get through your armor?
It goes through my armor and reduces my guard by 1. So I'm at guard 4, and I still have an eye.
And you still have an eye, which is really good. And the thing is, too, is because your guard isn't all the way down, that you avoided the attack. So you actually nimbly leaped out of the way. Right. And then, Sir Brunor, I rolled a 10 for you. I rolled a 6 and a 4.
Okay. I would like to deny that 6, which would put me, that's 2 vigor.
Well, roll to save first.
Okay. That is a 9 under a 14.
Wow, everyone saved, so everyone still has all their feats. That's great. Okay, so 4 get through.
Okay, so that goes back up. My vigor goes back up to 5. I have 2 armor, and I had 6 guard, so now I'm just at 4 guard.
Okay, so you also dodge out of the way. So only Sir Malachi got hit, but it was more of like a glancing blow. Is the only one that like drew blood, but it did trigger his brutal armor to hulk out. And the rest of you guys actually dodged him out of the way. Woo, that's good.
Interesting.
That totally
Very
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and very cool of you, John.
Yeah, we just all
catch.
forgot. So yeah, we got to remember that those feats are what makes knights, because everyone can do gambits, but only knights can do the feats.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
trees
sorry, David.
cannot do feats.
I
That's
loved your
important.
whole track that you were going with the hushing bell. But it looks like we're not in quite as dire straits as we thought.
No, it makes sense. Now, just to suss it out, I'm fatigued at 0 vigor.
You are
Right.
exhausted. It's different.
I'm exhausted. It's different.
So you
So
can
could
still
I
use
have executed a feat?
Yes,
Interesting.
but you
Okay.
can't.
Okay.
But you can only do those whenever remember, you cannot attack if you have moved this round.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. But I could have executed feats.
Well, they're
without
all-
moving over.
If you were in the
Hard
scrum,
to
yes.
attack. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's an extension of that. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay.
So, guys, using the feats again, we've got the one that I'm interested in here is focus. Create an opening to exploit. So, if one of us could focus on the root holding the peacock, then other people could, like, I don't know what would release a peacock, but maybe like the repel gambit might move the root, or
Like I said, you can just be creative, Ted. You don't even have to make it match one of those.
Yeah, just like wedge a weapon in there just to open it up.
And
So
I wouldn't even say that's
agree. I
requiring
think
a strong gambit. I would say like a normal gambit, you would be able to free the peacock at least enough for someone to grab it.
okay.
Well, and this may be a case where my bell is an attractant to the peacock, and I can be helpful because if you can free it, it might run towards the bell, or no.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know anything about peacocks that are normal, much less ones that are
fair,
being eaten by trees.
So I don't mind trying to do the focus gambit. We have to roll first, I guess.
I think it should be whoever has the highest clarity should do that one.
I'm 14 at clarity.
Yeah. So maybe you focus to create an opening to exploit, and Mike and I, or rather, Malachi and I will leap in to try and free the bird.
So let me. The way you want to plan these rounds out is in this game, you always want to just roll. Everything
first,
rolls.
and then figure it out.
Sure,
and
sure,
then
sure.
you figure it out based on the rolls, how it all plays out, how the execution happens.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
the
that makes
Or
sense.
the resolution, I should say, right?
Well, I mean, a focus, that
still
doesn't
happens
really
after.
require a die. It just,
But it happens after the roll. It says.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
actually, I'm kind of lying because smite, you actually have to do it before you roll a melee attack.
right.
Yeah, so I'm kind of
Well,
lying
in fact,
there.
actually, I'm thinking
You should smite
I'm going to smite.
Okay.
and add the D12. Yes.
Because then I had a D12, and our chances of things go up a lot at that point.
Now I'm realizing actually that what I said is actually true as the default, but smite adds an interesting wrinkle in that you have to commit. It basically locks you away to a certain thing, and you are sort of there is no freedom of interpretation, and that's sort of like the trade-off. So that's kind of interesting. Anyways, go ahead.
And that's cool though, but like we talked through our general plan, and now I will commit to the smite.
Yeah.
I'll
Unless
commit to the
Mike,
focus.
you'd prefer to smite, and you want me to do something else?
No, dude. Knock stuff
do it.
out.
Okay, go for
I will
it. Ted.
smite. Okay, so I rolled much better this time. Well, not a lot better. Okay, I got a 2 and a 2 on for my sword. I got a 5 on my dagger, and I got a 6 on my smite.
Oh, great.
Okay. So now I'm just going to roll my main attack and my trample. Ooh, this time I got an 8 and a 5.
Ooh,
That's great.
Okay.
And I rolled my 2d8 with my big sword. I rolled a 6 and a 2. So now we've got some stuff to work
All right. So
Okay, so your 6, Ted, has to be added. Remember, it's not an additional attack. It's a plus D12.
it's
Right.
an attack.
So you basically,
I see.
so what you're saying is like you're going to add that 6 to one of the other die results, probably the 5, right? So you're
So I could add it to. I could use the 5 for my gambit and add the 6 to a 2, and I'd have 7 damage, and I could repel the foe.
8 damage, but yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8 math.
And I can perform a gambit without using a die on this one, so we can have that 6 for something else.
And I have enough for a strong gambit. So if I do the repel to try and hoist the root away from the peacock.
If you just want to repel and I just lay into serious damage, I could add the 6 and the 5 and do an 11.
And then I could use a move gambit to get a help, grab the peacock, help the peacock, move it out of there.
Okay. Let's do that.
So it looks like Matt will use his die for a move.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
based on using the focus feat.
Why don't you narrate it to me, based upon like what the sequence of events would actually happen?
All right. So Sir Brunor, with his blade, leaps in and jams the blade like into the roots and leans, because it's such a mighty blade, he can lean strongly on it and move the blade out of the way. Just as Sir Malachi does much the same thing on the other side, and reaches in to grab the peacock as Sir Aurelius takes a overhand chop. Actually, it was my dagger that did the most damage. So he just slides it into a sensitive point between roots, and the root wriggles away from the bird.
And what are the gambits being used here?
I guess
move and repel, I think, right?
Yeah, Mike, you were going to do the move the root like with your repel.
Yeah, I'm gonna do now. I have an extra 5, so can I also do damage then with it?
Or you can bolster my attack, or
okay, so
whatever.
Bolster.
It's not really. How are you moving? It's you moving. You're not moving something else. You know that, right?
Right.
You can.
He's moving in to grab the peacock.
Okay. After it's freed by Sir Bruno or using a repel, is that what I'm hearing?
Essentially, yeah. By repelling the root away, then. Oh, okay, fine.
So we're going to use my strong gambit for the repel, so that we're much more likely to get the root away from the peacock, right? So we want to use the 8 for that. So I'm going to use the bearded blade of my axe to loop it around the root, and then spur Tariv away, yanking the root behind me.
That's a great use of strong gambit, because then the tree doesn't get a save, so that automatically succeeds.
Okay, cool.
So the peacock is now like been it's free, and then Sir Bruno is moving in to take it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can. So I'll have to use that. I guess that move gambit, but I will, grab or lead, or I don't know the size differential, but I want to help move it out of there.
Right. Okay. It's more like its natural inclination would just be to escape as quickly as it could, even flying if it needed to. You can use it to sort of guide it away as well. So you're still going to kind of control of it. Yeah. And I wouldn't even call that a move. I think that would just be like an other effect sort of thing. This is like a special thing that you're doing. But I think it falls within the realm of a normal gambit. Then followed up, of course, by Sir Aurelius kicking the shit out of it. Right.
Now, John, I still have another 5. Can I use that to then move out of the range of the attack for after I use my repel on the root, or can I use it to bolster Aurelius's attack?
You can, yes, you could do either of those things.
I think because I'm already injured, I'm going to use it to move and be out of range of the of any counterattack.
Okay, cool, awesome, I love it. Matt, do you have anything? You don't have anything extra?
No, I do, because I was using focus to do a gambit without using a die. And I have a 6.
Well, then roll your clarity save, please.
Used on the die. Okay.
I didn't realize you were using your focus.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am fatigued. I can't do that anymore because I rolled a 20.
Okay. So no more feats. Period. Just so you're aware, you can no longer deny.
I'm cool, but I'm still going to use this as that extra move gambit so that I can get out of there along with
okay, so both of you guys are able to move. Okay, got it. Works. I got it. No problem. Sir Aurelius. All right. So you're going to use your focus, your smite, in order to bolster your already high roll of 6. Of 5.
Of 5
for a total of 11.
Make it 11, correct.
Okay, cool.
And then I need to make a bigger save.
So you slip it through its thick bark, as you said, like you found like a weak point. Right through its guard, and you could see the whole tree shakes, like rustles, and a whole bunch of loose leaves sort of fall down around you, and you hear like a groaning creak as of arboreal anger is directed towards you, and the opening widens even more, just darkness beyond. Okay. It is going to attempt to cram you into its maw.
Whoops.
Okay. Well, unfortunately I failed my smite save, so I cannot deny.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so yeah, you're fatigued, unfortunately. And it's going to do 7 points of damage to you.
Okay, so I take 2 off for armor and 5 off for guard, which means I just would take 1 to my vigor.
Okay, so you're just wounded normally.
Yeah.
And you are also grasped by the roots, and you are very, very close to the maw.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to pull the pins on all the grenades on my vest. And Gorman, you're
Gorman, you always were an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to take this bastard down with me. No, I am not happy, and I want to get away. So, all right, that's its attack, and I'm grappled. Is that it, John? Like effectively, like.
Yeah, I mean, you still can attack or do something, use gambits, that sort of thing, but you're close to being swallowed up by this thing.
Okay,
but it's basically just you, because the other guys have kind of escaped out of the reach of the roots, and they're fatigued, so they can't.
We just can't use cool stuff.
Can we go back to the scenario where Mike's character eats it and I survive?
All right, so it's your turn. What do you do?
All right. Well, I will. So my plan is to stab my way out, and hopefully I can get a gambit to give myself some movement and repelling the foe and so on.
Okay, also, so like sword and dagger.
I can't leave him there.
I can't either. Yeah.
We got to do it. I'm coming back in to attack the tree also.
Dang. Okay.
Me too.
You can't leave. Come on, it's a night's game.
David?
In this case, I'm not fatigued. I have throwing axes.
Oh,
If you don't move, you can do it.
I could come to,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Nope, that's not even bending the rules. That's just straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
And
I
I
wouldn't
can
be able
use
to
that
deny.
to deny.
No, you have to
You
get
gotta
within
roll.
arm's reach to
Let's roll.
deny.
Yeah.
This card within you're not. You're right. So I can't
You can
deny.
smite. David, you got to throw it and smite.
I could try to smite.
there you go.
Why don't I? I mean,
Yeah.
why not use my fatigue while I can? Right.
So you have to declare the smite
it's used
now before we roll. Do you want to do smite?
Smite is you have to use before rolling a melee attack.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
melee.
okay, so I can't use that either. So focus I could use, but I don't know what that would do for us.
You can figure it out
You get
later.
a gambit.
Yeah, let's roll.
And
on
you
the-
could do something like, well, no, it's worth arguing in advance because he can get the gambit without the die if he uses focus, which means that we would be able to build an attack around the gambit he's planning on, such as repelling the foe or whatever, in a way that, like, if I throw my axe just so, then it will lose its grip on Ted and he can escape.
My thought is I'm going to toss an axe into the gaping maw of this tree. Is what came to mind.
I love that.
Okay. Right.
Okay,
So
let's
why
roll
don't we
it.
all roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
All right.
David goes first because he's been sitting on his side.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. 1 second. Sorry. Okay.
It's David's first attack.
I know. Sorry. I had to flee.
The game.
Listeners
this is
in
like your first
LA, I
campaign.
hope. Yeah. Listeners in LA, I hope everyone's safe. The fire is very scary. I fortunately am not in town right now, so I'm rolling without my physical dice, but I hope everyone's okay. I rolled a 1.
Nice job. All right, Ted, go ahead.
All right.
Well, he can still do the gambit. So the axe goes into the mouth. All right. So I rolled a 2, a 4, and a 5.
Okay.
So I'm certainly going to try and repel the foe away from me, and the idea that by pushing it away, I escape.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try and attack it from behind, John, because I'm not brave. But Matt, you roll first.
Well, I did, and I rolled 2 3s.
Okay.
3 and 3.
And Mike?
All right.
Which will not be
Bloody
doing
night.
any
Let's see what
damage.
happens here. I rolled a 10 and a 1.
Ooh.
I like that 10.
I like
Okay,
that 10.
so David, yeah, so Ted was saying, like, you can still do the focus. You get, you after you rolled an attack, you rolled really shitty, but yeah, you meet the criteria for focus, right? So you can perform a gambit without using a die. So you can set these guys up if you want to, but you have to see if you're fatigued afterwards.
Sure. I think logically, stop or repel narratively sound.
Its mouth.
Impair. That's true. Maybe okay, here we go.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear it.
What I'm hearing is I seen it trying to claw you into this gaping maw, and it's widening and it's widening. Right. I somehow rise out of consciousness at the sound of this strife, and my hands like pawing at my side for this axe. It's kind of, you think of the unconscious up and down, eye thing in cinema where, like, I see all fighting and it's black.
Right,
and then I see, it looks like it's going on and it's black. And then all of a sudden there's Ted and he's like, oh, he's gonna be good. And I kind of come up, I rolled a 1, right? It's feeble. And I just sort of throw my axe into the maw with the logic that it would constrict the maw in response.
Okay.
Right? It would close and it would prevent
like
it from
an
swallowing
impairment.
immediately.
Okay.
That's the thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Building off of that, what else? How else are you guys going to spend your dice?
So Mike's got a massive damage die. So I think what I should do is use both my 4 and my 5 to basically, so we've got it impaired. I want to repel the opponent and I want to move away.
So
And
Ted,
just let Mike-
can I just, and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think tactically here.
Yeah.
The most important thing that we need to achieve is get you ungrappled, correct?
Yeah. So you want to do a strong gambit?
So yeah, even though a 10 is like really a lot of damage, like using that as a strong gambit to accomplish the goal of the round is probably the way to go. So if we use my 10 to once again hook my bearded axe in whatever is yanking you, and then trying to get away afterwards, which I won't do because I don't have a gambit for it, then we can at least assure that you will not get eaten this turn, and anything else is gravy.
Yeah. Well, that my name will be gravy on the next turn because with my 2 3s, I don't think I can help at all.
So strong gambit with Mike's 10, and then Ted, you would be delivering the damage if you wanted to.
I could just stab it and move.
Yeah, you could stab it with the 5, and you could also actually bolster yourself for +1 for 6.
Well, not if I'm using the gambit to move out of the maw.
Well, true. Yes, yeah, you would be free because of Sir Malachi.
I'd be free, but I have to move to get away, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's also a good plan.
So I'll
but
do
maybe
5
if you
points
think that it's near death, you could try to do a final blow.
I mean, it's a tree. I don't know how to. They take a lot of chopping normally, so I'm not really sure. So I think I'm going to go with I'll do 5 damage, and I'll use the 4 to climb out of its grasp.
Okay, cool. All right, so
it's right that I can't do anything with those 3s, right? Like that's
nothing. You could do nothing with the 3s. Yeah, it's just bad rules. Yeah, unfortunately, sorry.
Okay.
You would normally be able to do a focus, right?
Yeah.
You could have done it free, but you're fatigued. So yeah, I actually really like how this works out. This pretty fucking cool system. Okay, so the way that this all looks visually, right, is that that dagger goes feebly over Sir Aurelius's head, but somehow gets into the maw of the thing, and it does. It's sort of
it's an axe.
I'm sorry, an axe.
Sorry.
Over and into the thing, and you can hear somewhere deep in the recesses an echoing thunk, and the thing just sort of closes for just a split second, which at the same time, as it was lifting Sir Aurelius bodily up and going to deposit into the maw, is the point where Sir Malachi's huge long bearded axe hooks that thing and rips it bodily off of Sir Aurelius, who drops down, and you are attacking it though, right, with the 5?
I am.
And then running away. So you give it one last hack, and as you do, the roots all quiver and sort of all writhe up in the air and then slam back down into the ground, and you hear a thunderous crack as some sort of, you don't even know where it is, something from the heavens maybe was with, actually the way you actually picture it, you actually perceive it, and I would say this would be Sir Aurelius because you're like face to face with the trunk, that something within it explodes outwards, bisecting the tree in half, like, it splits open, right? Bones spew out from deep within, as if it's regurgitating everything, all of its victims, just like all over the place.
Look at the bones.
And the last thing that you think perhaps it was an hallucination, perhaps a message of some sort, but the tree changes shape at the last second before its death into, instead of a gaping maw of the trunk, it actually turns into the gaping maw of some sort of scaled beast. And its roots are not roots, but the coils of some sort of massive world serpent, for just a split second before it actually erupts and turns black in its death throes. And we'll say that the peacock, enormous in size, has been deposited with Davith and Samson, and we can pick it up from there.
Wow.
Whoa, that was intense.
That was
awesome, dudes.
cool. Yeah. Thank
Sure,
you.
really cool. Well,
Ted, I'm so
run
glad you
around the
remember that
circle. Good job, guys. That was great. Wow. Well done, my brothers.
Out.
That's awesome.
I'm totally out again when you come back to me, by the way. No I'm not registering any. That was all I had was that one toss. Unconscious.
That was cool though. I like the
amazing.
All right. Cool battle, guys. All right. Thanks for staying late. I know it's very, very late, but we do have a solemn duty, of course, near the end of near the end here. So first of all, thank you everyone for watching and or listening to this episode 3 of Mythic Bastionland, the Adamant Expanse. I think this will be our first full, incomplete, without hiccups episode.
Oh my God, don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it. I'm looking at all my meters. Everything seems to be okay when we got to the end. So thanks you for watching, and thank you to first of all David, of course, for all of the beautiful overlay artwork and graphics and animation. Lovely work as always, and thank you to all of our community members, especially our Patreon members, our explorers, our delvers, and of course especially our conquerors. And Matt has the distinct pleasure tonight. Take it away.
This is amazing. I'd like to welcome a new conqueror,
Hey.
Muzz J. Grabliano. So
Nice.
welcome to the ranks, along with Black Knife Media, Noah Green, Chad Versluis, sorry, Lost Among the Stars, Phytobot, Eric Leander, Sir Reluctant Knightsy, Bastionland, Menelaus, Governor of Shadengard, Dapper Dinosaur, Berwin, Glintwine, John even told us how to pronounce this. Incunabuli?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
nailed
think
it.
Well done. Better than I did.
The hot vintage dwarf on dwarf action with several horrified elves watching. Night. Lucifer, Chris Ackroyd, Jared Goodman, 3C273, Evan Leroy, Narrative Direction, Adam McKinney, Iowet, Classless Chaps, like that one, Heath Gordon, Soul Slur, Ryan Gunter, Chris Harvey, Brennan Ecleaver, Bob Toasters, Chris Milan DM, Crayon Box, Oxian, Erica, Lord Narlgruff the Necrogoat, Iron Knight's all right for fighting, Onion Farmer from the High Hankle, Awkward Silence, Dogleaf, Mike Butts, Ye Holy Order of Old Dirty Clergy for biggest stickers on crucifixes, blessed be our well-hung Lord. Z. Bilirubin Knight, John Buchek, Eric Mader, Mark Dyson, Carl Stephenson, Necrotic Gnome, Derek B., Bob Seeger's Night Moves, Eric Manley, Iron Fox Gaming, Boogie Knight, Jeff, Jofo, Brutes Monkeys, the Hot Dog Knight of the 7-Eleven rolling table. That's gross. The Mighty Martian, Noah, AJ, Tweed Little Wings, Brett Sullivan, Desiree Marcel, Grizz Loves Games, Dustin Reedy, Chris Rowe, Benjamin, Steve of Bill and Steve, King of Zoops, MP, Todd, A Wasted Night between two Davids and that dwarf corn guy. Steve, Jeff Marino, Robert Kirkland, Eric Tsunami MD, Yesterday's Glory, Richard Barton, Christian Carter, Dungeon Maestro, Tucker Kid, good night. James, Chris Lorcella, John Hooker, Mordrew, Zachary Hall, Saps, Now It's Time for the Knights. Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, Mechasquagulot 605, Squire Quinn, The Knight of Davids, Procyon, Dakota Nielsen, The Knight of Awkward Silences, Cameron Mass, Stephen Kessenberry, John and Law Logan, Kabrowski's, The Bruised Knight, Phil, It Was a Dark and Stormy Night, Rocket Frog Eric, Nick, Jeff Samansky, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal Bouchouareb, Jimbo WA, Ted Gast, Taru the Throat Sheaf Mudclump, Andrew Schroker, Jason Jones, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabriel, Chongus, Hex Brawler Josh is here for Ribble Mead's Goats, Arno, Iona, Michael Walker, Mother of Romulus, Han Dandler, Sean Ellis, Summon Toast, Too Rude, Too Ishvan, Arca Brawl, Dungeon Heart Adam, Scott Yearsley, Kickmaniac, Dyer Grew, Tom Eric Garrettson, and you guys know what that means. It's Matt time. Matthew Mattis, Mads the Danish Matt Dwarfs Better Than Mike. Sorry, Mike. Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you all so much. Couldn't do it without you.
Thank you so much, everyone. We really do appreciate it. And for anyone watching this contemporarily,
Contemporaneously?
yeah, I don't know.
That's
Is that a word?
sometime in the same time?
Yeah. In the week that it actually debuts, we will see a large chunk of you in person in Portland, Oregon for Between Two Cons, and we can't wait. It's going to be a whole load of fun. That said, because we will be at the convention, there will be no new Mythic Bastionland episode this coming Sunday. That would be the 28th, I think. There won't be a new episode of Mythic Bastionland. However, if you're watching this in the far future, it's going to be a seamless transition to the next episode. Keep on binging, folks. But
hey, John. I know there's no Mythic Bastionland, but are we going to post the Horse Lords thing on the site?
We will, but at some future time. Inappropriate time to bring it up. We'll talk about it later.
Some things never change.
Something I would have said.
Anyways, we will we'll see a whole bunch of you at Between Two Cons. We're gonna have a good time. Otherwise, everyone enjoy your week, and we will see you later. Take care.
See you later.
Thanks, John. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Mike.